steel, a giant stance, a mech with heavy advanced commands, each step a quake, a thunderous might, eyes aglow in the endless night. A saint beneath, dark and vast, power fierce, shadows cast, a mighty tank beneath its core, a warrior spirit, ancient lore. Welcome tainted, a lace-up tunic or medieval hoodie. Welcome tainted, let's talk about color, or should we? Welcome tainted, thinking outside the blocks. Welcome tainted, thanks for joining us, you rock.
Hello and welcome to Think Outside the Blocks, your weekly LEGO live stream where we talk to you about thinking outside of the perceived rigidity of the LEGO medium and also thinking outside of your mental blocks when creating your own creations. I, of course, am one of your hosts, Mark Larson, Chief Brick Officer of Brickworld, and it's just me tonight. There's no guy on my left. I don't have a fail-safe tonight. Going it alone this evening. First thing I want to talk about this tonight is that our intro should have been updated with Amy Schultz's name as a new member, and I didn't get to that this week. So apologies to Amy Schultz. I will make it up to you. Trust me on that one. Definitely will. Apologies, of course. I do have full confidence in myself tonight that I'll be able to have a conversation with myself and keep you guys entertained for as long as I can. Let's see who's here joining me tonight. The Brick Orphanage has been here for a while. I don't remember exactly what time I noticed this comment come in, but the Brick Orphanage was here early. There were a couple other comments that I don't see here in my list, but people have been here since I posted on Discord, so thank you all for being here. Brick Orphanage, hello, how are you? Monica Berry, ahoy hoy to you as well. Rob Claxton saying hello to all the taints as Sarah DeRosa renamed us last week. We are the tainted, of course, always, but when we're here, we're just taints. Amy Schultz, there you are. You are here. And of course, I was just kind of like, maybe she's visiting family or something. She won't notice that she's not on the member list, but you are not. And I do apologize. Deepest apologies. And I so mean it when I say I'm going to make it up to you. Alternate candidate. Hey, appropriate title for today. Because is there some news going on? Qui-Gon Jeans is here. Andy just joined us as a member. Oh, thank you, Amy Schultz. I appreciate your confidence in me. I appreciate you supporting me, even though I snubbed you in the list. Rob Claxton, of course. Yep, already mentioned him. But look at this. What do we do? Let's see. We got a. Do you have a request there, Qui-Gon Jeans, for which song you'd like to hear to celebrate you joining us as a member? I'll give you a couple seconds if you want one. If not, dealer's choice. I'll throw one out there. Dave Brick 76 is here. 76, good year. Crystal is here. Thank you. I feel better already knowing that you're out there watching this show. Good day to you as well. I thought there wasn't a membership. Better late than never. Hey, yeah, absolutely. There's only like 9 of you. So yeah, join whenever you want. I'm going to go ahead and pull up dealer's choice here just because let's hear some music. Why not? Let's go with, because he's not here, in honor of Ben, because he's slacking off tonight. Here's the first song I wrote for Ben with our garage band. And it'd be really great if it just played when I did that intro, but it didn't.
Daddy Ben, oh he loves his space. Lego ships in orange all in place. But Mara's size, they're all the same. And why that beard, it's just a shame. Orange ships, computers galore. Mara dreams of something more. In Legoland, where dreams take flight. Orange or not, they'll get it right. Daddy, your ships are lame. All of them look the same. And your beard, such a disgrace. Maybe just one short hair on your face.
I spend too much time working on them.
And sometimes you just don't do them because you want,
Yeah.
And your beard.
And my beard.
And your mustache.
I'll get back in the photo so everyone can see.
Ugh.
Alright.
it should be more like one of those French ones that are the movies, like squirrels.
Like a little villain mustache?
Yes, you need that.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mara. Thanks for the rant.
Or you just need
Good
one
job.
little hair.
It takes too long for you to build them. Focus, get it done, concentrate, Daddy Ben. One more word about your beard. Come on, Daddy, it's so weird.
And they don't have different size ranges, which they should. And they they all have computers in them. Like, it's disgusting.
Orange spaceships, make it end. Listen, friend, it's not a trend. Orange beard, that's the trend. Make it happen. I love you, Daddy Ben. I love you, Daddy Ben.
Excellent. Yes, and Ben is here in spirit tonight, especially with that song. I do love two parts of that song a lot. One is where Mara says, or maybe just one short hair on your face, or maybe she says long hair. I can't remember which one she actually says. I know I got it wrong in the lyrics when I wrote it. And then she does this with her eyebrows. And then Ben's face after she says, it's disgusting. This is great. Qui-Gon Jinn says, love the song. Sorry if I interrupted the intro, truly. I was trying to figure out how to join since the app isn't always easy. You're totally fine, man. Came in long after the intro. So you guys interact with me as much as you want tonight. I need someone to talk to. Hoarder 66 is here. Let's take a look at the run of show tonight. Ben was nice enough to make one for me. Just kidding. I actually did this myself. We are going to, tonight's show is brought to you by the letter G. Going it alone tonight. We're also going to do our greatest hits all throughout the evening because you guys know me well enough. Hey, look who's here. It's Jesse's Bricks Galaxy. If I'd have known we were going to get the news that we got today, I would have asked you several days ago if you wanted to join me as a co-host. But I didn't get around to that this week because I was rather busy and traveling, and I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. But yeah, let's take a look at this. I do agree that, yeah, like and subscribe. If you aren't already subscribing, I would encourage you to do so, please. We're working our way up slowly to 1,000 subscribers. That's our first major milestone that we're trying to hit. And of course, like it. If you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that like button. Or if you don't like it, don't hit the button. And also, as Qui-Gon Jeans did tonight, you can, of course, join as a member. It's $1.99 a month for Wonders Galore. That is that's a lyric from the song that I wrote for when people join as a member that I haven't made a video for yet. But it's coming. No new songs tonight, unfortunately. I do apologize. Like I said, it's been a very busy week. Brickhead Brad already smashed that like button. Thank you, sir. Traveling for relaxation, I hope. Well, it was my husband's family reunion. So yeah, relaxing. Yes, Fabby from Milwaukee is here. Good to see you, sir. All right, so greatest hits. Again, one of the reasons I'm going to be playing all the songs tonight, you guys know me well enough if you've been watching the show for a while. I have to take frequent bathroom breaks because of BPH, not Ben Philip Hauger, but benign prostate hyperplasia, I think is what it's called. And so I may just hit a song or two so I can run off and take some breaks tonight. But hopefully we've got some good stuff in those outros and clips from previous shows. Because something amazing happened last week and we need to revisit it. So I have that going for a longer break for myself. Tonight I'll replay that clip, of course. And then we're going to go on to good progress, bad math. I did build this week, but it was mostly fixing the bad math that I displayed a couple weeks ago. Found all the problems. It's just going to take a while to fix them all. And I'm going to redo it so that I can easily transport it. I was just kind of like building and building and building. I don't know if you guys do this. Where you're like, I've got a great idea. I don't know how I'm going to transport it till I'm done. I try to get ahead of myself in that, and I wasn't doing that successfully this time. So it was becoming this giant thing that I was not going to be able to transport. So it's a good thing I had to go back and fix the math, because now I'm fixing the structure of it as well. I think we talked about last week that I was putting it all up on stacks of 2x4s, and that's a real amateur mistake. Yeah, thank you. I certainly will. It'll probably be necessary a couple times throughout the evening. I don't think we're going to have a 3-hour live stream tonight, but I wouldn't be surprised if I did do a 3-hour live stream just on my own. Yep. Thank you. And again, live stream brain, not sure exactly what you're referring to, but that's okay. As long as I'm making sense, I feel good. If there's audio problems or anything like that, please let me know, because I don't have Ben to sound off of tonight. So if everything sounds awful, I won't know unless you tell me. And hopefully my internet doesn't go out or lag or anything like that, as we've had happen in the past, because then the stream will just be over. Right? I know. It's kind of like retraining my brain to think of transporting and making it easy to pack things up, especially running the show. Like if I had to pack things up at the end, and we have a lot of other stuff to pack up, it's kind of just a nightmare, I guess I would call it. As I've talked about many times, I made custom boxes a couple years ago, and someone tore them apart for some reason at the end of the show, and I was just like, we're never getting out of here, because I don't know how I'm going to get this into the truck. Monica Berry also says, I tried to plan ahead and make it more modular, but I just build and build and build. And it's hard not to sometimes, because you're like, I can't go back. I don't know where the seams are. I've made seams on things to make them more transportable, and then accidentally built over one of the seams. Just been like, well, it's not coming apart now. I got to get it out the door and get it to Brickworld. Brick Orphanage says 5x5. Again, not sure why. And a lot of good chat going on in the tangent. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for joining us. So after that, after we talk about the good progress, because it won't look like a lot of progress, getting past the bad math, we're going to talk about Gaming Nerds Rejoice. I don't know exactly what that's about, but like I said, luckily we have Jesse here in the chat. I'm going to say, if I can figure out how to invite you, Jesse, I may just send you one to see if you want to join me. That might make things a lot easier. Let me see if I can take care of that as we're talking, because we will need you for that segment of Gaming Nerds Rejoice. How do I get a hold of you? I go to Instagram. It's going to be really hard for me tonight, by the way, you guys staring at my own face when I'm fully on the screen, because my eyes are really uneven, and I really notice it when I am staring at my own face. So let's see, Jesse's Brick Galaxy. I can't not say bricks. Just sending this to you now, Jesse. If you want to join me for that Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, whoops! I gave it away. Gaming Nerds Rejoice is the. We got a leak yesterday, and then we saw them today. This is how things go. 5x5 means loud and clear. Oh, does it? Good to know. I had never heard that before. And then we're going to do a little segment that I came up with on my own about Gonzo Lego themes. And that was the thumbnail I made. I don't know where I came up with the word Gonzo, but I just liked the way it worked with that particular concept of like some of the weird stuff that we've seen over the years. And then if we have time, since I'll have Bricklink open, I was going to do a little bit of a presentation I used to do when I used to be able to like attend Brickworld and be someone who had the time to do presentations. I love doing presentations. And so I'm going to do a little bit of one about inspiring original creation and problem solving by using Bricklink. And then after that, we'll talk about next week, which I don't even know. Ben may or may not be here. I will be here, but I will be moving into my sister's house on Friday to take care of her dog and cat, along with my dog, for 10 days. So there's going to be 2 weeks where I'll be live streaming from my sister's house, and we'll see what happens with building for those, because I'm not going to bring everything with me, that's for sure. Gonzo is an old slang term for crazy, yes, and that's why I love it. So I love it's that Muppets name as well. So let's get going with our first topic of the night, which is, let's see, good progress, bad math. And taking a look at this here, let's go ahead and do that. Yep. There we are. Wow, it's really hard to see it because of the tree I put in there. But same mock. What's amazing about Ben is like he builds massive amounts every week. I move much more slowly, and we've been working on this pagoda house for a while, and we found out last week that I had some bad math in there. Monica Berry says, had a little adventure today when a dog randomly showed up on our porch. Oh, what happened to it after that? Did you get to a rescue? Did you find the owners? Like, how did that go? Hey, Dee's Bricks is here. Thanks for being here. I'm here on my own tonight, so it helps to have more people in the chat. Dee's Bricks, one of Brickworld staff. He works on our sponsorships. He's also doing a lot of coordination with the content creators, bringing them to the convention and the expos, making things more exciting for our attendees, let alone the fact that he just walks around and makes sure everyone's having a good time and does a really good job at that. If you guys were at Brickworld Chicago this year, you probably met him. Dee's Bricks, thank you for being here. Let me see if I can work on the focus of this. I'll try to keep my voice loud enough so that you guys can hear me as I do this. But I fixed everything. It turned out the only problem was the addition I had made when I moved up here. And I kind of called it out originally. I kind of see it all happening, that it was the fact that I had an uneven amount of snotted layers. So that should have clued me into the fact that my math was off. Let's turn it this way. And we'll just knock those fabulous treasure chests off the... So you kind of see what's happening here. Got the staircase finished up. Got the math all worked out. And there were a couple other math problems in here, not only in the front, but also in some of the bracing where I was like, one plate off. And that's what was causing a lot of like the separation and the rock work to fall off of the front, which was another thing that was happening. What's it called? And then I'm putting together the bracing in the back now. So, I mean, it was a good thing that I pulled the entire thing apart to see where the math was wrong, because there was also other math that was wrong. I think I mentioned last week that I had a 1x16 brick behind that rock work, that a one stud, one plate variance was behind that brick. And so it was pushing everything off. So every time I moved it, it just kind of fell forward, fixing the bracing so that it's not just stacks of 2x4s like I'm 7 years old and just like, oh, this will work. I should have learned that one a long time ago. Love the pink and white trees. Very pretty. Thank you. I actually skipped out on, you can kind of see in the back that I'm working on the frame for the waterfall in the house behind it. And it was kind of like, I was going to spend a couple hours doing that. So I was like, well, I got an hour left. I'd rather build a tree because it's been a long time since I've started, since I've done any foliage or landscaping, and that's my favorite part of these. So thank you very much. I had fun doing that. But I did split the house into thirds because that's going to make it a lot easier to transport. So it was basically together by hinge plates, and I was just like, well, I can also remove the hinge plates and just stack them directly onto the terrain. So I decided to do that instead. Monica Berry says, I found the owners. They live catty corner a bit down the road. The owner's name is also Monica. Very cool. I just wonder why that dog chose your porch to come in there. Hey, check it out. Look who's here. Hey, it's Jesse. Hey, I've got someone to talk to even.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound awesome.
All right.
As far as I know, your audio's good. And then Dees Brick said, glad I can make the show. Life has been bonkers. Yeah. Just not to say too much, but just like when we go through things, it's kind of like, and we kind of have the jobs that we do. Dees Bricks also works with Lego for a living. It's kind of like, it's hard to like keep up the facade sometimes when you're going through stuff. So I appreciate that a lot. I'm glad that you're here. Jesse, how's life, man?
Life is good. I've been doing my museum thing a lot late on the weekend, so I just got done with my shifts, and things are going well there. We had a summer night trains kind of event. It's kind of like World of Lights.
Oh, cool.
So we actually have blue lighting everywhere, so it makes it like more twinkly midnight magical.
Oh, very cool.
and that was pretty good.
So are you like a docent at the museum, or?
Yeah, I'm on the board. I'm a big volunteer. I'm the volunteer coordinator, and
nice.
it's kind of paying it forward because they have space for our Lego Train Club there.
Oh, nice.
So I'm kind of paying for space by volunteering a lot.
Nice. Is it a train museum?
Yeah, it's a model train museum.
Oh, cool.
All toy trains or realistic scale trains.
Oh, that's great. Very cool. Do you build train?
Lego trains from time to time. I like to do goofy stuff. Like I made a Lego Movie, a Explorer like style train, and Batmobile train, and just I do all the goofy stuff usually.
Yeah, I used to train.
Like I just let the foamers do all the all the realistic stuff, and they're super inviting and welcoming to us to do this goofy Lego thing, because
That's very
it brings in kids and customers and families that, you know, there might be that one guest that got dragged to the train museum that didn't, you know, want to be there, and then they see Lego and they're like, whoa.
Yeah. I think a lot of our sponsorship partners, some of the best ones have been museums, because like they understand the audience. They understand it very well. They understand like they understand event space, they understand sponsoring things, and they just want to have fun as well. So they always bring fun stuff. And we've had quite a few museums here, like just big parts of the Lego community, and who have Lego exhibits in their museum.
Yeah.
Despite like bringing in like specialty exhibits from time to time. I've got a piece in the Van Andel Museum in Grand Rapids, and then there was I can't think of the name of the one in Detroit that sponsored us for a couple years, because they had a big like brick structure exhibit of like different high rises and different like kind of inspiring people to build using that as a medium. It's a new night. I wasn't expecting to have a co-host, so thank you for joining me at the last minute. I appreciate that a ton. Monica Berry's updating us on this dog that showed up on our porch. The other Monica's dog was just off on a little adventure. Maybe could smell the purr cats or all the wildfire that eats from the bird feeders. Wildfire. Wow. Got to work on getting those cheaters from Walgreens next time I go. Very cool that your pieces are in museums. Yeah, just having space to display like that, and like having that sort of that outlet for the club has got to be very, very cool.
It's a blessing, like, because we have probably one of a handful of Lego train clubs or lugs that has its own brick collection. So I mean, like 5 million bricks.
Oh my gosh.
So it's basically, you know, any one of us crazy AFOLs with their basement full of Lego, right? So we have been around the longest, I think, as a Lego train club. So different people contributing and leaving their bulk or whatever with the club has amassed this kind of like no one person owns it unique situation. And I mean, we were in Brickmania for a while, and then we were in storage, paying for, you know, storage, and now we're in this very unique situation where if we just volunteer, which means we just go play with our bricks, but we'll help at the front desk and stuff, and we have space. So nice. And it's a great, you know, like you said, museums are great partners. It's a nonprofit and all that good stuff.
Where are you located, Jesse? I was
Minneapolis.
Oh, I would say, like, when you said you were storing them at Brickmania, I was like, for some reason, since I met you and Larry at the same time, I just assumed you were in Dunlug until now.
Oh wow, yeah, I could show you the little gems, G for gems of my Brickmania experience if you want to go down that route.
Oh, definitely. Get those pictures ready. We'll take a look for sure.
I have sets. I was the roadshow manager, and then I designed a few sets.
So, oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. So you've been through all of it then.
Been here and there, and not everywhere, but
it's like, it's funny. This is the Jesse I don't recognize at the shows. Like when you walk around with your hat off, I'm like, who's that?
Hat.
Amy Schultz says your lug could host their own Lego Master event.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a brick pit. It's a mess, of course. But we organize and sort as much as we build, and we try to, I don't know. Lego Master Event. I don't know. We have a junior engineer program. That's the closest I have to like a little mini Lego Master Event. So when they're not playing with the Lego trains, well, learning how to like make a layout is what they usually do with all the HO stuff.
Yeah.
But to get it started, kick-started, I did a twice a year a Lego event. So I would do like a little, hey, let's build some crazy pumpkin out of, these orange bricks, and then we're gonna knock them over with Ninjago spinners.
Yes.
So
Awesome. Like that, I worked for a kids at like an engineering camp that used Lego teach engineering skills. Back when Power Functions was easy. It's a lot of the Lego Masters contestants have been from the same company. It was called Playwell. I worked there for a couple of months before I decided to go back to school. And that was like their favorite one was like when you teach them how to build structure, and we build a skyscraper, and then they got to knock it down at the end. Qui-Gon Gene says, Lego Trains is definitely a rabbit hole I want to go down through. The builds are always so epic.
So many slippery slopes. Brickmania was one. They're like, once you start buying this military stuff, and I'm like, I'll get into it a little bit. I was there a couple of years, and now trains. Well, trains was number one. Like when I found Brickmania, I found the Lego Train Club. Yeah. And I just like doing the buildings mostly. So, me, I've got the Marvel City and the DC City stuff that are just kind of populating different areas where the trains go around.
So is that Twin Lug?
No. So they're separate. We're kind of tangent of Twin Lug because people have come and gone, Bill and Judy have been in our train club, but are still in Twin Lug, but now kind of do their own train stuff, so it's all the same people. And our Lego, it's GMLTC, Greater Midwest.
Oh, yeah. All right. GMLTC. All right. Yeah. Definitely heard of it. I don't think I knew where they were located. Like sometimes you'd think like I would retain some of this information with the position I have now in the Lego community.
Yeah.
But I don't really.
Well, Greater Midwest could be Chicago for could be in your backyard.
Is it Michigan? Is it Wisconsin? I don't know. Like, are they in Ohio? Greater Midwest is a great area. Brickhead Brad says, "I really want a Lego train for my Christmas tree." That's
where it starts.
Exactly.
Even if it's a model train, like Lego's a good even for the model people. They're like, I want to get started. Have you tried Lego trains? Because you might already have some pieces.
So that's where I started. Was my first Lego train was went around our Christmas tree, and then I bought a bunch of track and just ran it around the house. And we do that for like several hours a day during Christmas break, like seeing how far I can make it go. And another good reason you're here, by the way, is it looks like my internet is lagging here and there. My husband must have gone back to work. Matt husband must have gone back to work. So I'm hardwired. This kind of drives me nuts. I don't know why this happens. Let me see. Am I actually? Yeah, no, it's going. So Jesse, what do you think of what you see here? Any thoughts, suggestions?
Man, I want to try that sideways rock building steps. But I mean, it's crazy that it's built into the cave system there too. Pretty seamlessly. I like that a lot.
The bad math really kind of almost screwed that up. I was trying to do like the B-wing, the first set that 2x2 a side stud came in, because the rockwork does face back to back.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to like find different ways to like get it to connect together. And there was just too much going on at the top for me to connect things together. If I was going to go back and pull some of this apart, which I won't, I would get that going underneath, because it won't work on top anymore. The mat is never going to work. I mean, it probably would if I had some sort of engineering degree, but just trying to get it done real quick to like fix it. I think the problem is this is built on something that I built for Brickworld 2023 that I was trying to get done really fast. And so as I went back to it, I was like, something's off, because things just kept falling off. Just kept falling off.
Yeah, I know the basics. If you're counting these studs and you're trying to figure out or follow along, basically 2 studs sideways is 5 plates.
Yep.
Well, if you go off of the even number, you're dealing with half plates, and that's
Yeah. And I push myself into an odd number of layers. And so when I
and it can be done kind of with but it's hard. It's not. There's some good tips out there, so you could probably have made it work, especially with the pieces they have these days.
Yeah, if I would have known exactly where it was in the first place, I could have just shifted it the same way. A little behind in comments here. Brick Dad Builds has the Hogwarts Express on his bench that he's sitting at right now. Joel and Child is here. Hello, Joel. I always say that I'm not a train person. I'm a Lego person who has a couple of trains. Brickhead Brad says the Hogwarts Express is the train that he wants. Is that the new one that's like 9 wide or something very odd that doesn't actually?
No, yeah, probably just the normal sized one. The 5 wide track one I have, and it's a display only. If you've ever built it. Yeah, it's instead of 4 between the rails.
Yeah.
Or the rails are on 6 studs or whatever, however you want to say that. It's 7 studs or 5 in between.
Yeah.
And so you can't use it. And the wheels are not made to turn on corners. So if you think you're going to mechanize the train, you've got a lot of engineering to do.
It's very odd that they decided to do that. I can see having a display model, but like the train heads out there are going to want to see it move. Even kids probably want to see it move, you know?
And it fits on G scale, which is one of the model scales. Like for whatever reason, that's the right math. So you could put it on a model scale track and make it work, but the bogies aren't made to turn. That's a good one. Yeah, keep doing the comments. Hey, Moto.
Yeah, Moto's here, who is a member of Denluck.
Yes.
You don't need an engineering degree. You'll see it. Yeah, it just takes me a lot longer than if I did have any sort of experience with and again, it was haste that did it all in the first place. Again, the entire thing was stacked up on columns of 2x4s, just kind of hoping and praying it would all stay together. It made it to Brickworld Chicago 2023. Just as I started to go in and try to reconfigure it, it was just kind of like, nope, this ain't going to work. Monica says, I used to do model trains with my dad, still have them, but have been afraid to set them up with cats. Yes, of course.
Oh,
that makes sense. I've got a bunch of keepsake shelves. I have my dad's train engines on them. I used to do model trains with my dad as well. Monica Berry says the guy with an engineering degree. Moto, yes. Qui-Gon Jean says the Hogwarts Express is beautiful. Monica, okay, whoops. And let me get back down to
Hi, Monica. Hi, everybody.
Yep. Lionel Polar Express. Lionel Polar Express. Like from the movie.
So Lionel is
Lionel,
a model, like O scale classic train company
I know Lionel.
brand.
Yep.
And then Polar Express is from that Tom Hanks movie pretty much, but it's a classic train that people like to display, especially around the holidays.
Yeah, you could definitely use some help, that's for sure. That movie always kind of freaked me out.
It's weird anime or whatever you call it.
3-dimensional animation. Yeah, it's like I remember when I was living in California, I missed a bunch of the Christmas movies that came out. So I didn't go visit my family. They'd be like, "Oh, you got to see these great Christmas movies." I'm like, these are not the classics at all. They kind of freak me out. So all right. So back to this. I think my next steps, of course, are going to be to build out those other sections so that I can get the other parts of the house on it and actually start building the house past where it's at. But I mean, I've got a lot of room for improvement. I got to get the waterfalls in, and I'm giving myself less and less space to have waterfalls going around it. But I refuse to go outside of this 4x4 base plate design because, like I said at the beginning, I'm just like
you have to build to travel, right? You know, if you forget to put I've done buildings, and just I want to make it big, so I forget to do the sidewalk. And think it'll work out with the other math, and then no, you need that at least a couple of things. For you, the water needs to be the border that contains it.
Totally, and I can see myself probably taking 8x16 base plates and building more on either side.
Yeah.
But just kind of I don't want to limit myself. Speaking of presentations that I used to do when I was actually able to attend Brickworld instead of run it. It's the first thing I would say is don't limit yourself to a base plate just because that's the size of a base plate, and that's kind of what we've been taught that Lego creations sit on. Build what you want to build.
Yeah.
And I kind of do that to a fault where I'm all right, I guess we're going to expand this small pagoda house I was going to build to the point where it's almost as big as the orchard. Like, oops.
Yeah. Looks great though.
Cool.
First, thing that pops out to me is the rock work and just that, I know you've been doing this and working on whatever, but I need to try it. So like, I've been messing around with some cragging of rock, but nothing quite as defined as that. It looks great.
I would say the more work you do with it, the more it's going to enhance those Dungeons and Dragons builds that you do. I can see it making some great caverns. The way that you guys have that standard that you set up for Brickworld this year, I think that's going to look beautiful. And like to be honest, I thought I had a pretty good handle on this on rock work when I first started building stuff. But like the more I work with Ben and look at his stuff, it's just inspiring to me to like get those angles changing. I used to do a presentation on rock work that was like I know so much more about it now. And I'd be like, you follow geology, you look at actual rock formations to get the idea of like how they actually work together, how they change. And there's times where I'm just like, I'm too like far behind to pull up pictures of actual mountains or hillsides or cliffs. And I'm just like, let's just make it work with the geometry. And I can always tell the sections where I do that, where I don't take the time.
Yeah.
It does take time, but like once you're more used to it, once you've done it more often, you kind of get like, it's almost like a language. Like you've got like little tricks in your bag that are just like, oh, this should change here. This should go this way. Ben was encouraging me to work with the mixel hinges, which the way this was going with the how far the math was off, I wasn't really able to incorporate them, but I got a couple cool tries in there. I've got them they're on the table. The mixel hinges are there. The mixel joints are there.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to hide a staircase that has that different shape also. You somehow have to use some bar and clip moto techniques or some mix techniques that just click something into place.
Yeah, I think that that tree is hiding a lot of the house from the front. Like this is the angle you can kind of see it all from. And so I think that tree may move, and I'll put something else there that like maybe a smaller tree, because I do like the idea of having a cherry blossom tree in that area. I use some different, because I use those what I call the cannabis piece to kind of slot all of those the different color the different plastic leaves, the 3x4s, the 5x7, whatever they are. So there's the regular flower pieces, and then there's like the cannabis piece. And so I haven't done that with a tree before, like mix the type of flowers that are on them. I'm not exactly sure how it looks, but it makes it all stick together, and it's the colors I want it to be. Brickhead Brad says, I always have problems with depth in builds, land shapes and water. I get going and then have to rebuild. It's hard to think it out. Yes, that's exactly what this entire build has been.
Right now, yeah.
Rebuilding, taking it back down to the studs, like I mean, all the way to the base plate. I mean, so Moto says never solve rock work with polytexture. Now he wants to. Go for it, because I'm sure that'd be incredibly inspiring. So yes, please do. Just because I want to see what you do so I can copy it. So are you building anything new, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm trying to piece something together. Maybe I can show it in a little bit. But I have basically a new D&D module that the stuff that we brought to Chicago, half of it's with Denlug, half of it's with me. We're going to set it up at the local BAM store.
Nice.
But I'm also going to Brick Slopes, so I wanted to bring something there. So I'm building an entirely new one that will fly for flight and travel. So I'm making a collapsible wall background and a rock work that I can split in half.
Yeah, I used to. I should bring that up. That might be. I used to have to think a lot differently when I lived in California for how to bring stuff to Chicago. I was born here, lived here all my life except for the 4 years where I lived in California, and I was working for Legoland. So I built like a monorail station for one of our collabs in I think it was probably 2013. The first year we were at the Renaissance, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. And the yeah, that would make sense. Anyway, sorry. Every wall came apart from the rest of it. So there was all like basically there was like 4 columns and everything slotted in. I built like grooves for the walls to fit in, so it fit in like 3 shoe boxes. But it was like a 6x3 base plate wide monorail station. I'll see if I can pull that up and show people how I did it. There was not I didn't have a lot of extra clothes to wear.
Yeah.
At
Or
Brickworld
you
that
have,
year.
like stuffed your clothes around the mock to protect the mock.
Yes,
Done
yes,
that before,
exactly.
like, all right, my socks, some extra t-shirts gonna go in here and hold these pieces.
T-shirts, jogging pants, and shorts, and socks and underwear was all I brought with me. I'm just like, I'll buy shampoo and stuff when I get to Chicago.
Right.
Definitely how it went. But if you need a minute to switch up your camera configuration there to show us what you're working on, I can play us a clip from last week's show that made me very happy. It gives us almost 8 minutes to make a transition for me to take a break because it's 45 minutes into the show and I already have to use the bathroom. I did my best to like not hydrate too much.
Yeah, I was like, you're gonna give it a shot alone? All right.
I know, right? I was all confident that I was gonna be able to do it. But I'll go ahead and play this. I don't know if you were able to catch last week's episode, but last week's episode has, I think, mine and Ben's favorite segment from it. The only reason I say mine and Ben's is because I don't know if Ben would say that since he came up with it. He may be a little humble or whatever, but I think he's pretty happy with what he put together. It was definitely a surprise to me. I do love that we curate things for each other that the other doesn't know about, like with the songs that we write. But this segment was just an absolute joy. So in case you missed it, here it is again. And first break of the evening. I'm sure there'll be more. You guys may have to watch this clip again at some point. But here we go.
Let's do this. Okay, last week, this rant is not even going to be timed because it frustrated me so hardcore. Last week, we had this. People were talking about how they wanted Enoch in a set, and I was like, oh, that the Ahsoka guy, like the dude with the mask, like the 5th brother. Turns out his name is Morak, not Enoch. So I got kind of mad at Star Wars, thinking, how many damn villains do you need that end in Ak? Right? We got Morak, we got Enoch.
I don't think Enoch's a villain. I think Enoch's a good guy.
Well, maybe that's your opinion. But I want to run through some of these other Star Wars villains and see if you can name them ending in Ak. Who's this guy?
Kirik.
Krennic.
Krennic.
Krennic if you use the original Coruscanti pronunciation.
Oh, Krennic then.
Yes. But maybe Krennic in the outer rim. But he's Krennic on Coruscant. How about this? How about this guy?
I have no effing idea.
This is Moloch.
From what?
He's from Solo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've only seen that once.
As this guy, he's animated. Do you know who this is?
Joe Brock.
No. Dr. Hemlock. How about this guy?
Mordock.
Realgar says Moltok, but that I don't think that's right. I believe this guy's name is Darth Warlock, of course, but then he did get Hemlock, so he's on it with me here.
All right.
How about this guy here?
It looks like Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing Darth Maul. So
it's
The
Darth
Rock.
Havoc, but it was
Come
a good
on.
guess. It was a good guess. Okay, how about this guy?
I don't remember his name, but this is not Star Wars.
What do you mean? This
This is Indiana Jones. This is Raiders of the Lost Ark.
This was in Han Solo's fedora-wearing days. He was still going to faraway lands to raid for loot. He was still a single ladies man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Legacy stuff is real.
Belloc.
Belloc. VMAC had it.
How about this origin story? Can you name who this is?
Robotics and engineering genius has an accident forcing him to forever be tied to a mechanical suit, turning him from prodigy to evil villain in the blink of an eye. Often attempts to choke enemies and make grand entrances into transport vehicles.
You would say that this sounds just like Darth Vader, doesn't it?
That's what I was gonna say, but it doesn't. It
but
doesn't
that doesn't
rhyme
end
with...
in "ock."
No, it does not.
It's this. He's got the same origin story. It's literally the same.
I've never seen you so happy in my life. I don't. Oh no, there's more. This is. I'm gonna say this is crotch rot. Because, dude, I don't know where we're going here. I've never seen this thing in my life. Darth Rock. Darth Bach.
Close.
Maestro Bach. Wait, I'm gonna say it. Don't worry. Darth Croc. Damn it!
You were really close.
I was gonna say Grand Moff. I was gonna say Grand Moff Croc, but he had a lightsaber. Like I was guessing you were gonna go just a little bit off of. Oh God.
This next one, I can't help myself. I'm gonna turn away when I flip it because this one kills me every time. Here it comes.
I'm so sorry that I don't know what's happening right now. Oh God! Why did we?
This isn't even my best one.
Oh no! This is still going. Wait. Saki walk. I remember. All right, Captain Cock.
Close.
All right. Oh dear Lord, Inquisitor Clock.
You were really close.
Okay. VZ Block.
Captain
Block. Okay, I was
really
going to go
close.
with Captain. I was going to try to give a Stormtrooper designation. Builder of MOCs.
Close.
Me?
This is what it came up with for you. I had to tell it to build an Art Deco Lego MOC.
Oh my God.
Darth Stud is what Chris thinks this one should be named.
We should have skipped the tomato soup thing and done this because I'm way over now.
Here we are. I couldn't help myself.
Oh no, this is genius.
So anyway, who knew they had so many bad guys? Yeah, look at the Darth Vader pauldron. Yeah.
I am beside myself here. I'm like, so there's a new category in like Lego MOCs that's been cropping up in Brickworld that is wearables.
Mm-hmm.
If I wanted to disguise at Brickworld so that I can go enjoy the show without being bothered, this is the one to build. I think.
I think this one might be off the table. All the tainted will know who you are at least.
I mean, I wouldn't F with this guy.
Yeah, but here he is, Mark Mock.
I just saw Darth Vader's face in the pauldron. Now I see what you mean. You know.
Yeah.
Mark Mock. Oh my God.
My favorite by far is
Bok.
Bok was good. Darth Sock. I couldn't help myself on this one. I said, create a Sith Lord that looks like a dirty sock. And they came up with one. I'm like, no. I want it to look like a sock puppet. And when this popped up on screen, I could not help myself.
Did you use?
Oh my God. Like I can't stand it even still. Like I told Ben this week, like I figured it out what he was doing on which one was it? A Knock Knock. And like that's not, you can see the point where I figure out what he was doing. It's at the very end when he does the Mark Mock. Because when he did Maestro Bach, I thought he was photoshopping or something like that, and it turns out he was using our mutual friend who's a digital artist.
Yeah.
His name is Chat GPT or something like that. The entire thing was such an experience to be like, I couldn't even tell it initially like where the difference was, because I thought the Darth Rock might have been an actual Star Wars character. Like when I realized it was an actual, like a complete joke, it was with the Knock Knock, or Maestro Bach. I thought like he just found somewhere or made himself. Yeah. The Knock Knock one, I was just like, is he getting that good at photoshopping that he put like an ornate Victorian door knocker on a stormtroopers?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It was so much. Oh God, that was so fun. Just comedy genius. So we've been having some fun in the Tainted here in the meanwhile. Apparently I said potty break. Did I? Yes, because I have a puppy. Well, she's 2.5 now, but I was like just constantly telling her, go potty, go potty, go potty, because she won't go at home. And it was getting to the point where I'm like, she just wouldn't go unless we were at the park, or unless we were on a walk, or unless we were at our friend Cheeto's house, who's been on the live stream as well. And I had to Google it, and it's like some dogs have the instinct that they don't want to poop near where they sleep.
Yeah.
And so she's got to be like a mile away.
Wow.
But that's her command, kind of reminder, like, hey, we're not at home, go potty. So that's my new word. Big Nate Bricks is here. Brickhead Brad chimed in and said he's almost 40 and his mom still uses the word potty. I love that. The Belloc one, I really wish I could have come up with on time. Yeah, I caught that too.
Oh boy.
glad you guys, if you missed it last week, it's totally worth replaying. I'm going to put that up as a clip on our YouTube channel. A minifig of Inquisitor Croc. This has to happen. I mean, like if we could just start a collaborative build for Brickworld 2025 right now based on Inquisitor Croc, I'd be 100% on board. We already got Fabulantis going here. Eurobricks is doing a new thing next year. Why don't I just join a bunch of collabs to really make myself insane? I can envision myself being part of all of these parts, you know. Still getting an ab workout on the second. Yes. Yeah. And then I commented while we were watching. Glad Moto was able to see and enjoy it as well.
Rails.
Ben isn't busy this week. He's literally died laughing on last week's episode. The Knock Knock. I mean, damn. Even the Bok Bok.
Yeah.
It's like I try to make thumbnails for the live stream now that have our faces in them. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm a very animated person, so it's easy to find like screen caps of me where I'm making some sort of face or doing something, and Ben's just like very still and doesn't react much. I was trying to get like a screen cap of him shrugging, and he does it like bam, it's done. I was like, you couldn't even tell that's what was happening unless you saw it in context.
Yeah,
he was actually shrugging. So it's just like next time I have to make a thumbnail with him in it, I'm totally pulling from that because he was so animated the entire time.
Yeah.
Milwaukee has a dog like mine. She's a hound, so I think there's a little bit more territorial stuff happening because they have the hunting instinct to like keep blood here, poop here, like food here, this there. She's very routine.
Cats
for a hound, she's not stubborn. She doesn't howl at us if we're not doing what she wants us to do because she's actually 22 breeds altogether. But if we're off her routine, she will sit there and stare at us, and I'll be like, "Oh, I forgot the bully stick." Like that's sort of like. What's wrong with pooping where you sleep, right? I do it about 10 feet from my bed.
Right.
Yeah, they don't want their prey to be able to find them, or they don't want predators to be able to find them, so they leave that sort of, is what Google told me. So Jesse, you ready to show us what you're working on? I'm excited.
Oh yeah, sure. Let's see what mock I have working.
Oh, so that's when I finally figured it out, is when he told me he asked it to make it what's it called,
Maybe the lights are too much.
Art Deco mock. I was like, oh, he asked it. Oh, he had these created.
Oh, now it's like completely dark, but
that's quite a difference in lighting. There's two. Ooh, whoa. Nice wow factor there, sir.
There's a party going on in here.
Yeah.
So I repurposed some of my like Christmas light things that I had in my other mock, and I'm not too happy with the pattern it's doing, but I do like that the underground one is under a blue base plate thing that's giving a bluish color, and the background has yellow, and there's a pattern, like a fire pattern back there that's actually looking okay.
How are you accomplishing all that? What did you use here?
Brick stuff lights, and they're Christmas light things.
Oh,
transparent bricks.
Nice. Did you? So is that all like the transparent plates on the bottom in the skeleton pit?
Yeah.
Is that?
I bought.
Are those all official Lego pieces?
Yeah. No, I bought one of those base plate sized blue plates.
I do that too,
and
I do that for my swamps.
Yeah. So I had to, on the back side.
Yeah.
Build it out.
Yeah.
So you can't see it in the front.
Right.
There. So, because I've got this trim in the front, right? So it's 2 studs back. But then that doesn't matter because the depth doesn't matter too much. But yeah, I kind of cheated with the other party content there. But
yeah,
the back is all real Lego, a brick built, yellow and white.
So Brickhead Brad says, what's that parade called? Electric Light Parade? Yes, that is what it's called, the one at Disney. And he says, is that a mock or a bug zapper?
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah.
I like the Dungeons and Dragons party happening here. So that brand, I can't even think of what it is. I know that every time I order one of those base plates, I get something on my credit card because they're like a die-cast model company.
Yeah.
So I'm always like,
what? One here. I got it at the local BAM store. So
okay.
Whatever.
They're great.
Yeah,
I mean, they're fantastic.
I got a clear one, and I got this one, and but the back, like everything else, is Lego, of course. I'll do a demo of taking that apart a little bit, I guess, for the transportation aspect.
Yeah.
But just to follow up, like on the characters that we used for the D&D mock, you've got the minifig head, but brick built body. So I've got some different characters here, and then all the skeletons in the water do have the skeleton body, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do there, but I put a bunch of beards on them for the BBG.
What's the BBG?
Bearded Builders. Bearded Builders Guild. And they're from the Brick Slopes. So when I take it to Utah, I think I'm going to get props on all the beards.
Who's this guy?
Z. Yeah. So I can show a little bit of how this will travel for people that are like looking to build something that, now it's 10 inches tall or whatever.
But so you're just taking off 2x6s up there? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that was holding this wall on.
Yeah.
And this is just, sideways built. But I can take that whole thing off. Boom. And then I made a halfway mark here in. This guy's going to fall apart, but I made a halfway mark there in the wall so that I can collapse it to half its size. And then I'll bring those pieces along and re-put it together because I'm flying, so this will basically be one. And yeah, one piece. Just want to bring something so I can also have the D&D kind of thing going on. And I was really happy about the BBG bearded skeleton crew there.
Yeah, I like that a lot. That's fantastic, man. So you're bringing this where?
Brick Slopes.
Oh, right. When is that, by the way?
End of August.
Okay, nice.
23rd, 24th, 25.
How many people you got in that collab?
Well, Larry and Nikki Denlug people will be there. So a few of us, because Bailey will be there with his mock. So there'll be 5 or 6 base plates altogether.
Nice. I think you guys made a big impact at Chicago this year. Brick Dad Builds says, I was going to bring this up as well, so thank you for reminding me, Brick Dad. This goes into a Discord topic on real versus alternative bricks. I kind of like Aaron. I've always said like I don't really use a lot of third-party market stuff. I definitely use these base plates.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there's something out there that Lego doesn't produce that someone else does,
Jeez.
I love those.
How can you turn that down for whatever?
I know, right?
Like
that's how I did
$8, and I can save that many of Lego. Like I'd build it on the Lego if I could.
Exactly. And it's like there's kind of like nothing else that, especially with World of Lights and like that's sort of like what everyone wants to do with lighting. It's a really great alternative to, like you said, finding them all somehow with Lego. I built a what do you call it? A crystal ball for our potion shop out of 1x2 plates. Like the entire thing, it was like a Lowell sphere, and it was a nightmare trying to keep that thing together. Like it shed plates every time I touched it. And it's kind of like I think there's some 8x8 transparent plates out there, but if you like look at the Bricklink prices, they're through the roof. Like if you want to build something like what you've built there with the actual Lego pieces that exist, like in the blue, like you'd be paying like at least like $360 just for the 8x8 plates to fill that space.
Exactly. And I've done it before. I have a little Minecraft mock that I made lava and put lights under the lava.
Yeah.
It's, half or a quarter of this size. But it was complicated to get them to overlap properly and shine underneath. And so I've still got a month to do some of that. So you see some of that rock work there, that you have that sideways building right there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Just a little bit to give it that different flavor.
Looks great.
Back, or instead of just doing it. But yeah, thanks.
It's like the smaller, more like the smaller, more prominent areas are where you want to focus like the really good work on, and that looks fantastic. So like if you were to expand that, you'd probably be doing just fine. So it's something that like if you're looking to tackle it, go for it, because you seem to have a good sense of it already. That looks really great here on the screen.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, it might creep forward. Like I know I have enough skeletons, but I don't know. I like how it kind of shadow boxes when the lights are off and then the lights come off, and then the 2 tones. I'm definitely going to stick with that. But I might tone down the disco party.
I don't know, man. The disco party's pretty fun.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, it catches the eye. So I don't mind just having fun with it. I'm a little more easygoing with my quality of work, if you will. Like I've got a deadline, and I mean, for all intents and purposes, I have a little bit more of this wall to finish. That's it, and that could be as simple or as complicated as I want to make it, just for one show. I mean, it might see like, I don't know, it might see more, just, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I've been working on, getting ready for this other convention. And yeah, I just kind of sprinkled some these are that, I don't know what color that is, but it's that light teal.
I think that's what it's called, is light teal or light
teal
aqua.
Or something. Yeah,
light aqua.
Yeah, light aqua. Just because I had that evil kind of root looking piece, wondered what they would look like in there with mixed in. So still just playing around with that.
Oh, that's great. Have an update from Ben here. He says, "Hello, Tainted. On vacation, just catching Jesse and that other guy on the stream. Glad you're here. Feel free to join us if they let you get away." Amy Schultz says she has the BAM base plates. Looked at the studs for the Lego logo. Didn't use my glasses, so didn't know they said BAM. My child told me when I got home. I didn't realize they said BAM either because they're from a third party that isn't BAM. So that's interesting. Now I have to look at mine with a magnifying glass because my near vision is fakakta. When do I say fakakta?
Yeah, I mean, I think they must have had these.
Are they?
There's something on there, and I think it does say BAM on those studs.
Hey, Cooper Copper Kayak is here. I almost said it right.
That's on there anyway. Yeah, good for them. I think it's there's so much out there. You got to be able to cheat a little bit when it's all what's about. It's almost like an extension of the lighting. Like I need to do this to show, like a window through to the lights or whatever. So
yeah, I also think it's unfair if somebody doesn't have the means to just purchase everything in pure Lego and they want to build some bracing and they've got a bunch of like old Tyco bricks or like Mega Blocks, build your bracing out of that. Like build the side of your building out of that. No one's really going to see it. It's kind of like the purest thing. I understand the brand. I very much understand the brand loyalty. But like we don't want to be elitist in that way that we're like, no, if not every single thing, or can you use fun hole? I don't know. I'm still kind of like I'm still kind of salty with you, Ben, about the fun hole thing. They're made specifically for BAM. Interesting. Why would you go through that extra effort to have BAM on the studs? I don't know.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Of course you can.
Chat can answer for sure too. So, what do you think about the skeletons being normal minifigs, if you will, versus the brick built body? Because I could probably whip up skeleton bodies this beefy. So should I go through the effort of brick building the skeleton torsos in all of this form?
So I was assuming that they were like D&D characters, where like the bigger form character was a different type of creature than humans. If that's wrong, then maybe for scale's sake, for the story.
Yeah.
I didn't take anything away for me at first, not knowing anything about Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. I think you're right. It works for this scene, but next to another one, that's just a normal human height. So if you're thinking that these are baby skeletons,
right, it's a little creepier, like
with beards,
party in like the baby pool on the side of the river Styx. Like it's kind of depends on depends on how you want it to.
Yeah, and then it's an investment. But a brick lock made some really good skeletons.
Yeah.
And I think they do translate with this form. So, and I don't think I have to build the whole body, just like the torsos that are coming out halfway out of the water.
Yeah.
And they could still be wearing the beards.
Oh, yeah. They definitely can. I mean, that's such a great scale. We're doing a collab that we want kind of mid-scale figures. And I was like, look at what Jessie showed me.
Yeah.
So I showed her entire collaborative that the guy on I can't think of his name right now, but the guy on Instagram that you introduced us to.
Oh yeah.
But I think you guys are taking it another level. Like he did some really great stuff when he came up with the technique. But looking at your stuff at Chicago, I was just like, oh, you guys are taking this next level for sure.
Yeah.
So Monica says that was asked recently in Discord, and I did see it, and I was just kind of like, I do not have the energy right now to chime in on this. And it was asked like very basically. It was just like, can I bring a Mega Blocks creation? Is how I kind of read it, and I was like, no, don't,
please don't.
No. But I may have misread it, and I was checking Discord for a lot of other administrative things. So I was just like, I'll get back to that, and I hadn't thought about it since then.
I'm gonna put myself back on camera here.
I mean, I think we should be, relatively purist. But
yeah, there's like we're taking steps, and I'm not obviously not super purist. In the Lego Train Club too, we kind of fight that battle of how much of a set do you put on the city versus all MOCs.
Yeah.
And I want to say we're over 90% MOC, and a few vehicles, just because the vehicles were great. Like Ghostbusters and DeLorean are mixed in there somewhere. It's like, why change that? They did a good job.
Right.
But then there's the whole, like, I don't even know what the brands are. You guys are in the block of worse more than me.
Yeah, we are.
But at least you're laughing at it, and like,
right.
So I don't know.
So I mean, that's kind of a thing we've talked about in here before. And like, my view is like, we use a lot of third-party market stuff. People who are creating things that Lego doesn't create, and their mom and pop Lego shops are like, building these on their own. I'm totally fine with that. Again, I'd go as far as to say, like, if there's something that Lego doesn't produce and Mega Bloks does, like, throw it in there. I don't know how. I won't guarantee you that it'll be received well.
Yeah. Because I think the big, like, another person, and because there are so many more mosaics, people are using these big base plates to do a 5 feet tall thing.
Exactly.
And lights coming through it, and guaranteed they're using these because, I mean, that's just but everything else on top is Lego. So there's this now, I think, acceptable like base plate kind of acceptable.
I know, right?
Yes. And then filler brick gets into another area where you have to make your own judgment call there.
Well, I would put
Duplo and pad cups and weird stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You could put plywood down. You could put freaking 2x4s.
We made boxes to make our tiered shelf thing.
Yeah, and if that's okay, why can't you just throw whatever you want down there? And so it's like, for me, when it comes to like, this is a hobby, and so if you build something that you're really proud of it, and you used whatever, bring it to Chicago. It may not be received well, but it's your hobby. So like, use your time. You have one life. Live it the way you want to live it, and build what makes you happy. It may really ridiculously piss people off if you bring something that's made all out of Mega Block, and it's not what we encourage. But I also wouldn't kick somebody out for doing that. That's not a thing. I don't. Of all the things that we want to watch for our policies, one of them isn't like, oh, you use something generic.
Right.
We do get support from Lego, so I do want to lead with, like, yes, use Lego pieces. They have the best pieces. They have the original patents on all of these pieces that everyone else copies. That that is that's the grayest area for me. But also at the same time, it's like, do what you like. Do what makes you happy. Again, I'm behind on comments. So Brickdad Build says, just ask Ryan next time I see him. Yeah, good call. Joellen says, I have some extra tall skeletons she uses in her Halloween display. She had a droid arms between the torso and the leg and arm. Oh, that's smart. I like that. Amy Schultz says, they say people from long ago were shorter, so the skeletons are shorter. They're older dead. They're like dead.
Or they're dwarf and halfling, dwarf. I don't know. We can come up with all kinds of stories. All right. Well, I'm glad it's for me, it's like done. If I get the time to fix it, I'll probably or improve it.
I didn't necessarily originally think it was like a bunch of dead children, especially since they have beards.
Yeah. One of my friends said that. I was like, oh yeah, thanks. Of course you would say that.
Right. Dead babies with beards.
Yeah.
Brickhead Brett, they're Norse. Brickhead Brad says, I was poking fun at a coworker for getting a mega set the other day. How'd that go over? Brick Orphan says, I got 16 by 32 clear plates for $2.25 and 32 by 32 clear base plates for $3.30 on Ali Express. Yeah. And have been very happy with them. Yeah. It's like, people buy a lot of Lego stuff that Lego doesn't make, like power function motors.
I bulk up on that stuff today. We sorted our bulk the other day that shall not be named or whatever, and I've got a few of these now.
The dark blue. That just looks pretty. Just like
those are official Lego. You get a few.
Mox and Villains ending in Ock only. He must have missed our recap of that. Brickdad builds Brown replacement for Brittle Brown.
Oh boy.
They've apparently worked on it themselves. It's like real wood floors versus laminate. I guess I kind of ish, because I don't think any of those companies that make real wood floors and laminate now have the original patents on those, and they're being copied or sometimes ripped off, as we see in the Blockoverse. Neat Bricks, hey Neat Bricks, how are you doing? I think it's fine to use non-Lego parts for anything that they don't make currently. I agree. I 100% agree. I think like we had some Minions in sets before Lego got the Minions license.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, superheroes. I've definitely gotten some either custom printed on Lego or like the Fantastic Four. I have a really good thing.
Yeah,
and it's good. I'm like, done. I don't know where this came from, but they did.
There are some exceptions when it comes to like when they're ripping off Lego and they're ripping off another license, and they really don't have like the IP to do it. That's kind of like, for me, it's like if you showed up with that thing at Brickworld, I might be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like we don't let the vendors sell those things.
Oh yeah.
So I don't even know how I would handle that if someone was displaying it.
Yeah, the big figs kind of stand out when they're fake. They're like a little shinier.
That's an interesting conundrum. The whole show is to be a service to the public, not hypercritical or of SOAR fine lines. SOR. I don't know what that initially means. I'm petting the dog, by the way, in case you're wondering why I'm suddenly like, so I guess I'm a little confused about what SOR means. Critical of
something.
Maybe it's not an acronym. Maybe he misspelled.
No, it's probably there's a letter missing there.
Agreed, using out of print parts gets expensive real quick. Like a drunk mini. Like a drunk minifigure? I don't understand my own co-host when he's in the chat.
When he's chatting, he's trolling.
Maybe. Oops, and it came back. As long as you didn't get parts from Temu, I'm good. I don't know exactly what Temu is.
Yeah, it's a Blockoverse thing.
Some fine lines. Okay, thank you, Brick Dad Builds. Appreciate that. Temu might be. I may have to look it up.
Lines and gray areas are it's getting tougher. These, or how tougher or easier depending on what side of the line you're at.
Right. Also, apparently my arms need cleaning, so I'm letting. She's obsessively licking my arms at the moment. So before we get to the rest of our run of show, we're moving on to your bread and butter. We're going to talk about some gaming nerds rejoicing. So Z-Serb says she was a stolen property since they don't have the licenses. Like, I feel like I'm on a different planet sometimes with these comments. Who's she? Do you know what he's talking about?
It's not the Minions, right? Something like that.
I don't know. I hate when this happens.
It's not the thing.
Where it's like I get a comment, and it's funny that they're all coming from Ben, where I'm like,
all right, you can show it, and people in the chat will figure it out, and we can move on.
What's that? Now I don't know what you're saying.
I'm saying move on. Gaming nerds rejoice.
Here it comes again. What's drunk mini, you guys? Oh, drunk.
In the Blockoverse with their heads attached.
Yeah,
I think we need to play that video now.
So my problem is they were spelling it like a minifig,
minifig, yeah.
And her name is spelled Minnie.
There it is.
That's right.
Welcome to Blockoverse, no souls around. Cheap sights and sounds, no life to be found. Photoshop toys on twin Siamese. Fathers and sons making IEDs. Welcome to the Blockoverse, everyone is checked. Water slides are funny, hands are grotesque. Car pest police, house cake topped off, minis passed out.
Whoops.
Welcome to Blockoverse, no souls around. Cheap sights and sounds, no life to be found. Photoshop toys on twin Siamese. Fathers and sons making IEDs. Welcome to the Blockoverse, everyone is checked. Water slides are funny, hands are grotesque. Car pest police, house cake topped off, minis passed out, her head's popped off. Welcome to the Blockoverse, where dreams distort. Bad Photoshop or coffins in an eastern port.
Hang the DJ. I tried to turn off the Jolin's comment as the video came up, and I accidentally turned off the video. So, yep, that's me.
It was right at Minnie passed out. Where
yes,
you have to imply that she may or may not have partaked in something.
Drunk Minnie, exactly. I mean, she could have just like huffed some kerosene. Who knows? So and no, it wasn't even. I should have. So Temu is a horrible Chinese company that steals designs. Oh, that's why I recognize it. We talked about that in the last stream, I think. Yes, everybody, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Minnie, look at you, Ben. Minnie Mouse. Is that really how you thought? Maybe that's not. Maybe that's how her name is spelled in the blocks levers as
Blockovers, yeah.
Minnie Mouse. I do think the community should discourage counterfeit brick sets that ignore IP and trademarks. Agreed, 100%. Yeah. Like, you know, Funhole. No, I'm kidding. Funhole has original designs, but they're ripping off the bricks. Mm-hmm. Man, all right, you guys, come on. It's spelled Blockelverse for a reason. I can bring up that. What was it? Which one was autocorrect? Blockelverse? Block levers, of course. But the okay. So before we go into Gaming Nerds Rejoice, I did want to share this. Let me make sure I have it. This is like a real quick rundown on how I transported a giant monorail station in my suitcase. So every single part of it came off, right? So this was the frieze on top of the columns. And the reason I have all these pictures is so that I could show myself how it went back together once I got to Chicago.
Yeah, that's a good tip also.
Let me see here. There we go. And so, I had to know exactly where the monorail track went through the building. Mm-hmm. But all these roof pieces come off. I think you can see, let me see. I didn't curate this before I brought it here, but these were spacers. And what I ended up doing, they pulled out of here to make sure that it looked like it had depth. I can show it. So you can kind of see here where I've taken the columns out and they've got these towers on the corners, right? Mm-hmm. So the towers come off by pulling off the edges of the roof.
Right.
And then I had, so each one of these, you can kind of see here. Can you see my mouse? Can you? Yes. Can you? All right, cool. So all of these walls slot out of these towers, and then everything had tile and plate to kind of sit in it while it was to show me where things went. So you can see I have base plates here. So I had the tiles separate from where the plates are. And then on the insides of these, you can't see it here. Hold on. These are other spacers. The insides of these, to make sure I knew which one, because I built them all separately and I wasn't consistent with how I did it. So this was the pink columns.
Yeah.
This is the white columns. And I even labeled them. This was the aqua blue, or I think at that point it was medium or Maersk, who knows. But even the base plate, I put it on there to be like, this is the corner that gets these. They all had directions on the base plates, like this is A, B, C, D, or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. It's pink again. Dark red had one. This entire thing came out. All the columns are on their own, like little plinths, I guess is the best word I can come up with at the moment. And then
footing.
So as I'm pulling these out, so I would go back through these and go backwards to put it back together. Took pictures as I was taking it apart. You can kind of see all the plates and tiles where like all these things would fit in. Showed myself the steps. And all right, hold on. I want to see these walls come out. So that's what the entire base plate section looked like. And then each one of those towers went on one of these. I pointed to it with my finger on one of these squares. They were labeled. And then these were all the extras.
Yep. It happens, folks.
And then that's how it all went together when it was done.
Nice. Oh,
yeah. And each one of these walls, I guess I didn't have it good in these pictures. Each one of these walls slotted out once you took the roofs off. So let me see if I have it somewhere real quick. Let me scroll down through here. This is back in the day when our cameras didn't. Oh, here it is.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of an inventory of the entire thing taken apart. And that fit in one suitcase.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's space saving right there.
Showed me. So that turned into. Yes. I was doing so much to like make sure I had everything compartmentalized that I put it together on my staircase. ACOB says it's Gonzo. That's right. It's crazy. We haven't even gotten to the Gonzo Lego themes yet. Well, look at us. We talked about MOCs for an hour and a half. And now we're gonna get to the Lego set news finally.
All right.
So let's just switch over to that tab. Jesse, maybe you have an idea of where else we can find this, because yesterday was a leak. Yesterday it was all just a rumor. This is me telling Jesse, please join me. The only place I've been able to find it, someone had them in their hands today, was Unibricks. I don't want to steal his content. I'm just going to go ahead and join this guy right now. Yeah, let's do it $1.99 a month. I watch this guy all the time, so no reason not to. They charge you tax on that? I lied, you guys. When I say our membership is $1.99 a month, it's $2.17. Now I've got to change that GarageBand song. Good thing I didn't make a video yet. So do you know of a better source of pictures of these?
I can't really disclose because I'm tied to.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I'm not officially, but so I'm kind of trying to follow the rules on this one.
So did this guy barf these out early?
Yeah, that's legit.
Oh, I'm surprised it's still up.
The embargo lifts on August 4th, which is still a couple weeks away.
Should we not be looking at this then?
I would rather not, I guess.
Oh, really? Okay.
I mean, I want to talk about it, but
yeah,
I'm going to be reviewing it with an official reviewer. So
yeah, dang. All right, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's still up then.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool. They are coming. The leaks are out. But,
yeah, no, they really are.
I guess I'll say is well.
Let me close all these windows then.
I just shouldn't say anything else. I was gonna follow along if you had whatever. There's an image of all of them or whatever, but
there is an image of all of them that I found. I guess I could bring that up instead, but I think it came out of his CMF pack.
It's around. I mean, if you're gonna cover it, it's up to you.
I don't know. I'm
torn because
let's say
I was super excited to share stuff when the set came out, and then I was like, oh shoot, I'm actually kind of partnering with RL
good
MM or whatever, and want to do these videos legit and so when they do come out in a couple of weeks, I will probably have my hands on them, and we are going to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes,
the CMFs.
Yes, and you are on Friday nights at 8 p.m. Central.
Yep.
And you're on. Do you do that on Critical Bricks or do you do that on Jesse Bricks?
Well, that's just what my show is called. It's Jesse's Brick Galaxy.
And you call it. Okay, gotcha.
So,
yeah, because like we're Brickworld and our show is called Think Outside the Box.
Yeah, so I have programming that I used to do superhero spoiler stream, and then that was my other big thing that I kind of tried to cover regularly almost for a year of Disney Plus shows and stuff. And now it's all D&D content and a couple of how-to videos. And when those images can be official, I can say that I will be reviewing them and playing with them. So giving that bonus content and D&D lore from somebody that is very D&D.
Yeah, that's perfect. So let's, I'm going to go back through some of we missed a lot of comments. People are having a lot of fun here in the Tainted. All these Taints having a good time. We'll talk about what we saw. People can go out and find them if they want to. I do want to hear your opinion on it as far as, because that'll be our Lego news for the week. Then we can get into the Gonzo Lego themes, of course, with which Gonzo is slang here in Australia for someone with a big nose, and that's what I was called in grade school, was Gonzo. So appreciate that a lot. I wonder if that came from the Muppet Show or if it's just something that predated the Muppet Show, and that's why Gonzo was named Gonzo. But Gonzo was also crazy, and the character was weird. So I wonder the etymology of the word Gonzo. Perhaps I should look it up on etymology.com. Maybe talk, don't show. Yep, that's what I think we're gonna do. Qui-Gon Jeans already says it's a must for him. Chicago needs the tax money. I really got lost. Amy Schultz said it was amazing building. Thank you very much. Tomato soupy sets. Yeah, wow, kids. I really got lost here for a minute. So apologies for not knowing what you guys are talking about all the time. And let's see. Didn't that get leaked by D&D 3 months ago? I don't know. Did it? Is that true?
So no images have been, but the confirmation that the CMF line is coming is definitely a part of their 50-year anniversary package. So without showing images, D&D confirmed that this is definitely happening.
I read that. It actually showed up in my news feed on my phone, which is funny because it's a weird place for it to show up. It's like my phone now knows that I'm a nerd, and I'm like, okay. Which I'm usually just getting like the normal stuff that I would look at in life outside of Lego. So who's Palp?
Do it, Palpatine.
Oh, is it? Okay. I was like, do what now? So
I want to talk about the leaks.
Pre-Muppets that meant crazy, hence like the Muppet name is Gonzo.
And adjacent.
Wow, there's a fun random Z in that word there. I love language. Sorry.
Z Muppet Show.
So when I hear Gonzo, I always think of Hunter S. Thompson. I'm gonna have to look up why. Don't be an Ock and spoil things. Ock now slang for a Star Wars villain. Yep. We got a lot of people telling us to just wait. Amy Schultz says she's old pre-Muppets. I watched that when I was right. Okay. I remember watching that when I was a kid, like 5, and being really upset when it was canceled. Gen X here made popular Muppets reference, but often referred to genetic characteristics. Okay. Brickhead Brad says the original show came out in 1974. I was born in 1976 myself. Ralph Nader says once the images are leaked, everything becomes more difficult to talk about to those that are involved. Gonzo journalism. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you. You learned something new every live stream. There's a cool meme image of Gonzo dressed as Hunter S. Thompson. All right, I'm going to look that shit up. No offense to you, Jesse. If Ben were on the stream, he'd have looked it up already and had it ready by the time.
Oh, right.
Because that's how Ben rolls.
Yeah.
We know I'm not very good at this. All right. So thoughts on these images we haven't seen?
So there's definitely a D&D themed CMF line coming. It should be pretty awesome. That's all I can really say. The set was really good, so I'm sure we can expect the same standard of printing and variety once it does come out, and we'll be covering it.
So, and yes, someone just said pigs in space. Pigs in space. If you know it, you know it. So are you willing to comment on if the images you've seen, if you've seen them, do you think they do justice to Dungeons and Dragons characters? A little cartoony? Are they trying to appeal to a mass audience instead of appealing to Dungeons and Dragons fans? Any thoughts on that?
It's, I think, right on target.
Cool. Good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah. Mine doesn't I have the settings turned off or something. Do you have to go in and find a setting to turn those back on? Do you know?
You were have to fund Jesse's theme song because he knows I'm writing you a walk-up song, but it's not done yet, Ben. So we just have our first super that anyone's ever paid for, and it's from Ben, who we don't pay, to be the co-host. We pay him in tomato soup parts. That's literally what happened at Brickworld Chicago. So I guess if we're gonna give the closest thing to a walk-up song that I have for you would be the one I wrote for Ben last week. So apologies, Jesse. This is I have a song written for you. I haven't even sent it to the garage band, but it's gonna be there. You're on here often enough that we definitely need one for you. I'm not giving a thumbs up gestures. Stop.
Maybe you want to turn those off.
I know it's up.
I have that. But they went away.
I can tell you where to do it.
Oh, okay.
It's up in the right hand bar, next to your battery thing.
Oh,
anyway, here's a fun song. We're doing greatest hits tonight. G for greatest hits, and here's Ben's new walk up song.
Who's this kicking it with a new mob? New mob. New mob. New mob. Yeah. Will we get a chunky match? Will we get computer tech? An orange spaceship so sleek? Does he hate castles this week? Does the new mech have a wicked thing? Has the castle from last week been reshaped? Has he built fireworks and welcomes the Cerberus Daddy Ben? Yeah! Jump to 5-bit! Computer tech!
You're gonna have one, Jesse. It's just not here yet. So I love this. Brickhead Brad says "Manamana." Amy Schultz says that's her ringtone. Fun fact: whenever I'm in casual conversation with people, and someone says "phenomenon," I go "do do 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 do." 90% of people don't know why I do it. They're like, "I was talking. What did you just do?" And I'm like, "It's just like it's just a reflex."
It's got all the same syllables.
Make sure to like that first super chat along with the stream. Oh, you can like the chats.
You can I think you can like comments.
You have that now. You can, but I thought we had to be at a certain level. I thought we had to be at 1,000 first. But
I can do it in StreamYard, but the YouTubers might be able to do it.
Right. Again, like and subscribe. Don't make me go through it again. You're going to pay $1.99 to be a member. Oh, sorry, $2.17 a month to be a member. And you get all sorts of crazy benefits. Like you have some Fabuland emojis that you can send out there and a little badge by your name. But you're just supporting us. Mostly Ben and I are, we've been discussing things that we can do. That's a lie. We haven't actually discussed anything yet. But we're going to come up with things that we can do for our members that are beyond what we offer now. But we appreciate the support either way. But if you don't feel like paying us $2.17 a month, you can also just like smash that like button and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. We're at like 937 subscribers or something like that, and we're working on our way up to 1,000. We'd really appreciate that. Either way,
there's another influencer that put it a good way too. If you can't, that's okay, because we appreciate your time. Time is money, and all you people in live in the chat or watching on the replay, I think that's like invaluable.
Just being here means a ton to us. Absolutely. Qui-Gon Jean says, I can share if I can figure out how I even downloaded it on my phone. Thanks. I do it Tool and picture Sandra Bullock singing it Manamana. Oh, he says he does two. I think I said Tool. Picture Sandra Bullock singing it. Okay. Sorry. Brickhead Brad says it needs to be an ACOB Super. Or here. So let's get on to our next topic here, which is Gonzo Lego theme. So this is one, and I may need to like abruptly pause this conversation and play a song and use the bathroom because I can feel it's coming up soon. But here's where we're at. I may need to go potty, everybody. We're going to start. No. We're going to end with that one. So my problem with this, by the way, we could talk about weird things that Lego has produced over the years, and I'll stay away from like the Jack Stone and the Galador because that's kind of like low hanging fruit. We got Bonahum's in the house. He says, "Ba-bee-da-doo-da." Yep, got it. you're on board. But everything I looked up to kind of like beef up what I was thinking were like the Gonzo Lego themes had Fabuland in there as like this guy at the Gamer was like, Fabuland is one place you don't ever want to go. Oh yeah,
just weird.
Yeah, that's definitely subjective there, my friend.
Yeah.
Just plain weird. I was like, and it was in several of the articles of like the weird Lego themes that the weird themes that Lego has produced over the years. Jesse, are there any particular ones that stick out in your mind of things that Lego came out with that you were just like, what's happening here?
I'm not as familiar with the Jack Stone stuff, but definitely those figures that are they're taller minifigs that are like, what's going on there? Because everything else is system brick.
Yeah.
So why are you messing around with the legs and height and so any of those really, especially the Jack Stone, I think I just don't get that because
I think with Jack Stone, like that was during a time there was a keynote speaker at Brickworld one year that had written the book on like how Lego reinvented itself to get out of its first like series of losses with doing the Star Wars IP and also Mindstorms. And part of the Jack Stone problem they got into shortly after they got the IP for Star Wars and came out with Mindstorms is like they were as they were trying to recover, they were like, well, how do we market ourselves to kids who don't want construction toys?
Yeah.
And so that's what was kind of that juniorization era.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you come back after I close you? Was them trying to do that. Like, well, how do we bring in more people like kids who don't like to build? Well, how about you concentrate on kids who like to build?
Yeah, they're trying to stray away from the action figure thing, right? Because they can do more IPs if they don't call it an action figure, they call it a buildable set. And
yeah.
So I don't know what. Yeah, maybe they're experimenting. They do that from time to time. They do it with video games.
Yeah.
They do it with other, I don't even before apps were kind of apps. But they've had the hidden side app thing, and that's gone. That's another cool theme. I think that is Gonzo, hidden side.
Yeah.
Really cool characters. Really cool. Theme, right? It's like monster fighters. Like we just want to see classic monsters and Ghostbuster children or whatever, doing their thing.
And they had a fun play feature too with the augmented reality. Bonahum reminds us that the guy's name was Dave Robertson. He wrote a book. So if you guys are interested in this book, look him up. I'm sure it's available on Google Reads or Kindle. I'm not sure that they would. I'm not sure it's in publication anymore. Let's see. Fabi Milwaukee wants to fight this guy. Yeah, same. So Ben brings up a good point here. They would never do Wild West again or Islanders again. Maybe that is more of a decade issue than Gonzo. Oh, decade, like the decade they were produced. Those were also tertiary themes. Like they wouldn't do Trolls again. So it's like Islanders was tertiary to Pirates and Imperials. Wild West, I believe from what I remember, was tertiary to Castle, where they were making like we have an off Castle year, so we have something else that's outside of city and space.
Mm-hmm.
That's like historic.
Mm-hmm.
I think also Wild West, they're getting into kind of nowadays sort of a PC thing with it. I think at least the way they had done it before. I wouldn't mind to see them do it again because it's like it's a historic part of U.S. history. If they do it like in a way that doesn't offend people,
right? That's the tricky thing, I think, is if you got to go down that. How do we legitimately market these things now? Who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, or
right?
Stay away from that. And
when I think of like the weird Lego things they've come up with, I go out of a little bit of a different branch than just like some of the weird tertiary. Like at least Islanders still had pirates. At least it was still fun. They were making new molds. I really enjoyed Islanders. I really enjoyed Wild West as well. I saw the beginning of this comment. I just want to see what's being said here. Brickhead Brad says, I work for a dental equipment manufacturer, and it's so interesting to look through their old catalogs. Like, what were we thinking here? Yeah. So it's easy, like you said, when they're coming up with different size characters than the minifigs. Don't get me started on minis. I knew your what you were talking about was going to bring Joelle in here. She loves that theme.
That one and elves got to be like the top two.
Elves.
That top two for me anyway. That I would love to see more of.
So I left Mixels out because they at least brought us some really great colors and like new pieces, like the Mixel joints we were talking about earlier for like doing rock work. So like some of the things that I've thought, like, what are they thinking? Are the things like Ben 10? Like Ben 10 was obviously another property that they like bought the license with, but obviously didn't work very well with them for Galador. So why did they jump onto Ben 10 after Galador failed so terribly? And how long did they produce Ben 10 even?
I didn't even know they did. I know of it, but I didn't know it was a Lego thing for any amount of time.
We'll get to the 1920s theme, the speakeasy theme. Brian Bonahum says the not so Wild West. Yeah, exactly. And that would kind of like tame it all down and be a little less interesting toy for kids to play with. Most Gonzo has to be castle, dear Lord. Million Ways to Die in the West deserves a collaborative build. What is that? Do you know what that is, Jesse? Million Ways to Die in the West?
Western, I imagine.
I think so as well. Loved Islanders as a kid. I was in college.
Gonna make everything in black and white too, because the films.
Yes, it was in
the new Wild West theme is all black and white and gray bricks.
I believe I've heard the title before, but there's a lot of westerns out there. Brickhead Bread says mix up western and space, cowboys and aliens, bro. Yeah, was that a Daniel Craig movie? Fabuland minifigs are so good. The Animal Crossing theme definitely made me think Lego was thinking about re-releasing it. They'll never do it again. I mean, I know this for a fact. Time Cruisers and Time Twisters, another weird one. I left it off of my research here just because it's so easy to say it was bizarre. It seemed like they were like clearing extra brick from their inventory. They're like, we got a bunch of extra like stuff left over from Castle and City, and we're just gonna shove it out there. Although they did have unique molds for that as well.
Yeah, I've got one of those sets. I got it at Brickworld's charity auction, actually. I was like,
really?
I'm gonna bid this one up and give away some money and come home with this sealed Time Twister, Timmy, and I don't even know the characters. It was kind of cool.
All I remember is Timmy because it was such an odd thing. That was during my dark age, which is while I was in college. So I would go buy them because I saw unique molds coming out, and I was like, when I do, I knew I would get back into Lego at some point. So I'm like, I want these. Like, it was like the half cylinder and trans blue, and I was like, I'm gonna make a huge like beach house out of this. I don't know. I don't think I ever used those pieces in anything. But I would go to Toys R Us after my pizza delivery shift for Domino's and like buy a bunch of those. I ended up buying a bunch of like the Cycle Fix-It shop. Actually, that's the name of the one in the 80s. But they had some sort of like mechanic shop that had like the new bay windows in it that I was like, I'm going to want a lot of these. Qui-Gon Jean says, I personally really like the Angry Birds theme, but they were a bit too late in my opinion. Well, it came out when the movie came out and they were trying to, jump off that. Good pieces in that, good colors. Shutter had no response.
Game over, man.
I think you mean Shutter, not Shutter. Movie comedy, Seth MacFarlane. Okay, good to know. Million Ways to Die was a Seth MacFarlane Western, probably too adult for Lego, perhaps. It's Seth MacFarlane I like a lot, so I'm surprised I didn't realize it was recent. Technic figures made me uneasy. Technic figures were cool. I mean, that was the first time they were trying to make Technic not just like the skeleton. They were trying to like give everything like a full shell and like have actual people and have it like a little bit more appealing to people who weren't likely to buy a more complicated set. So Z Cerberus is getting an idea here. Needs to contact the artist. Okay, so we'll get to that in a minute. Timmy was weird. First minifigure with a nose, I believe. Was that true? He also had freckles. I don't know, the first with freckles.
Might have had a printed nose. I'm not sure. I can grab a set.
Yeah, I would say they're getting they've had some pretty adult IPs that they've pulled up.
I mean, Jaws is coming out. I can't, that was a rated R movie, right?
Yeah, sure was. Yeah, absolutely. So I went, like the ones that drove me nuts, and maybe this is because I worked for Legoland at a time when they were trying to come out with these. Technic figure heads are directly swappable. With Fabian heads, yes, they are. They also had basic heads. there was a Basic Plus, there was a line called Basic. It came out around the same time as Fabuland. They were humans. Do I have these handy? Do I do this every time we bring this up? I look at this.
I was just going to grab so.
I'm going to find these things. We're going to bring them up on the stream because I have many of them. I believe they were given to me by Bill Bourne. They're the old Basic figures, and they have human heads with they had a boy and a girl and like a cop and maybe a firefighter or something like that. Alternate candidate says, yes, printed nose and freckles. Lego Fact Book tells me he was the first with the nose of any kind, even though just a print. Hey, you got the Lego Fact Book just sitting right by your computer. That's amazing. Appreciate that. Maybe I should do stuff like that instead of just going, I don't know what anyone's talking about. So let's get off this screen because it's evil. The first crazy one, I remember going, what the hell are they thinking? I think I was in college when this came out. Do you guys remember this?
Whoa. Duplo.
Little Forest Friends. They came with cassette tapes. Shows you how old this is.
Wow.
And they had read-along stories. I don't know if this was based off an IP or if this is something they came up with on their own, but they were these little mushroom people with giant moths and these huge little stumps and mushrooms that they lived in. Do you remember this?
No, not at all. I did not know that it was a real thing. It's like Smurfs, but their own little kind of thing, right? For kids.
Yeah. And let's take a look at this because
let's look at this guy that's wearing nothing but an apron.
An apron tucked into his tidy whities. I don't understand what I'm seeing here. This is part of this set, which had also a spider and again a moth. I want to call them. They're probably butterflies, but they're not like the beautiful, cute sort of butterflies you would imagine.
I like the spider though.
It would start the spider's actually pretty cool. I remember thinking these were
oh my god, the web too, actually. Just the web piece would be awesome to find.
Yes.
It's like a perfect spider web.
The vine piece I think they might have reused later. Maybe it was a little bit of a different mold that they ended up doing, but they've got these huge Duplo flowers and giant teapots. And I kind of like the idea of the theme itself because it was very much they live in the forest, they live in mushrooms, they live in this I think is a strawberry actually. You don't see a lot about this. I don't know what years it was produced, but we can check Bricklink here.
Definitely inspired by the Smurfs because the Smurfs were blue and they just wore pants, right?
Yes.
But this guy's flesh tone, so it's kind of odd.
Oh, I know.
Look at the green one or something. Look at a different one.
Okay.
What are the other ones?
They have the same problem.
Oh yeah.
Here.
Yeah, they're just wearing a bib. It's probably a bib overall, supposedly.
Right, without shoulder straps?
Yeah, they couldn't get the ink all the way up there.
But they're also Daisy Dukes. This is highly confusing.
Wow. And the nose is higher than their eyes.
Here. Their nose is up in their forehead.
Why do it at all?
I don't understand what's happening. Yeah, there's so many. Well, I think that is just I think that was just a bad.
That one looks better. It's more in line with the eyes.
Yeah.
Some are over the eyes.
I know. Where was that one?
Well, when you're looking down at it, it just looks pretty.
At least he's got they're just
a little bit more of a dress there, but
stapled into their bodies. So this was 1999, which was also the same year that they got the Star Wars license and came out with Mindstorms.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, but the sets themselves, I think if they were done,
look at how many
in a minifig scale or something, they're at least interesting. Where they're there's a tree stump. The scale is bonkers because here we have here's the trunk of a tree and a palm tree on top of it and a campfire and a log bed and stuff like that. But if you look at, is it this one? Yeah, there's a strawberry house. One of the other ones has a mushroom house. There's a snail here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Yeah, the scale is all off and kind of crazy. We missed quite a few comments here. So alternate candidate actually has a ton of Lego fact books, all within reach. Qui-Gon says, I'm generally curious, does Lego save all their molds or do they destroy some of them? I figured they'd historically keep them all. They put them in the foundations of buildings that are built in Denmark. And I'm not kidding. When they retire a mold, they dump it in concrete for new foundations of buildings that are being built. See, I guess, yeah, I know there's a lot of missing tonight. Yes. Okay, we got that one. Amy Schultz says they dispose of them after the piece was made for a certain amount of years. Yes, and then they put them in the foundations of buildings in Denmark. Little phone screen looks like a thumbnail for a Mario set, right? Qui-Gon says, okay, I see Brickhead Brad and Amy Schultz. That definitely be a barrier to renaming some themes. Oh, the molds wear out. Yes, they definitely do. You can't warehouse everything you're not using anymore. Oh, and plus, I mean, there's been they have to have so many molds that wear out over the years. Watch the designer videos. Designers are limited to what they have on hand. It's difficult to get approval to make a new piece. I remember some of the designers at Brickworld one year being upset about the architecture line getting a new mold because it's like they're not supposed to get a new mold. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm spilling too much tea there. And Joel and Child says, I have a plush Lego baby toy. Yeah, didn't they come out with Duplo? Was it the Duplo babies? Or am I making something up? There was some plush thing they came out with that I thought was a Duplo line. So yes, this one I thought was weird. There's also one called, actually, let me look this one up real quick. This one was actually based off of an IP.
Looks like maybe like the booklet was in Dutch, so it might have been only overseas kind of theme.
Yeah, well, they had it in the Lego store in the US, and they had it in like educational. There used to be like learning zones,
right? Because it comes with a book, and yeah.
So they were definitely for sale in the US. Maybe not at Toys R Us. Did you ever see this?
What? No.
So this was another one. Again, it's Duplo, and again, it's based on an existing IP, not in minifigures, in sets, please. And so this was another flash in the pan. No items were found.
No sets.
That's weird. Okay. Let me see if I can find it this way. I'm just checking all Duplo now. Let's see. Duplo. I'm just going to do this. Little robots. Here we go. So yeah, these weren't necessarily bad sets.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was based off an existing IP. It existed for such a small amount of time. And this is what the actual cartoon looked like. Like, these are pretty good facsimiles of the characters from the shows, from the show. And it does look like it was all 2003, 2004.
Do a lot of these sets come with that pipe work type of thing?
They seem to. Oh wait, no. What is happening here?
That looks blockovers to me.
It looks blockovers. Because like the basketball net.
There's a basketball net and it's
a barbell. Yeah, and I don't know. This does look.
They made up their own robot game, probably.
This is an early rendering.
Sporty's Jumping Gym.
Sporty's Jumping Gym. So apparently you could bounce things off of this. Let's see if there's any more pipe work. Because the pipe work is cool. Nope. We got gardening with Stripey.
Yeah, they're doing jobs.
I love the corrugated metal.
The gears. Kind of cool.
Yeah, but again, this is probably something that was just produced in Europe, and just for this particular cartoon. Because I don't even remember hearing this about, like, again, I was in college at the time. Well, this was after I graduated from college. So it's not like I would hear about a kid's show. But I mean, they did some pretty significant molds here, like this tree that seems to be made out of metal with a creaky iron door here. Like the dog. The dog is cute. So my craziest ones, and I am definitely gonna need a bathroom break here soon. And good thing Reed's not here, because I'm gonna start with Chima.
Okay.
Chima to me is Gonzo as hell.
Yeah,
because they were trying to do so much.
It was a good pre-Ninjago kind of idea, right? Or no? It was after Ninjago?
Yeah. So here's what I know about it, because I worked for Legoland at the time. And they started having us build installations for the parks that were based on Chima. And so they sent us like early footage of the cartoon. They sent us they had our email address kind of like scrolling across the screen so that we wouldn't leak it and stuff like that. But it was like, everything was set on a 3-year, three waves.
Yeah.
And Ninjago was supposed to be done after 3 years. And I think Ninjago started in like 2012, maybe? Was it? They tried to cancel it in 2012, I think. Maybe it was 2010 then. I guess I could check. Let's see. We'll go back here. I'll get rid of our little robots thing. Ninjago. Do you remember the fan revolt when they tried to cancel Ninjago?
I've heard about it.
So let's see. We're looking for sets, and we want year released. Come on.
There's a 2012. There's a 2012.
Nope. I need to check the catalog. All right, hold on. Because I thought it was someone in the chat. Hey, alternate candidate, do you have your fact? No, Brickhead Brad, do you have your fact? So he says he was in charge of destroying a mold before. He ran it over with a propane heister. Didn't do anything to the mold. I think it was made with some Cybertron metal or something. Cybertron, little robots. Yes. They had Duplo soft books. I need to find my old catalogs because they used to have. They had a Duplo dollhouse, and you could buy whatever nationality family you wanted. They had several different skin tones for these Duplo characters that would go in the dollhouse. And people would be like, I don't believe you. I'm like, I have this somewhere. Let's see. Minifigs from the little robots are pretty cool. Don't know if they qualify or classified as minifigs. They're Duplo figs. Child loves Chima because of Chi? Thai? What? Chima making a bit of a revival in some Ninjago characters, not exactly revived, but hinted at heavily. After Ninjago, the Big Bang themes. My child loves Chima because of the lions. He loves anything with a lion. Fabuland has a lion. Had to be closer to 2015 when they tried to cancel. Was it? I thought I was still working at Legoland.
2011 Ninjago is the earliest sets.
2011. All right. So then did they try to cancel it in 2013? Because then I would have been there for the revolt.
Right. Yeah, I've heard about these 3-year plans where they're like, we're gonna give it 3 years, and that's it.
Yeah. And so they were trying to bring in, after the success of Ninjago, 2011 seems to be it. Let's see, year released. Up. Yep, absolutely. They're like, we had the success with Ninjago. God, this drives me nuts. I think this is so freaking weird. The character's great. The sets they came out with, I think, were designed by committee. So after Ninjago, they were spending so much money on IP stuff, they wanted to create their own IP, and that's why they were being so crazy about shoving it into the parks. There's probably still a Ninjago ride at Legoland Florida, and just there was a basic template to make a Miniland minifigure, I forget exactly what they called them. Lego Friends, I think they called them, which is a different term now. But we had specific little interior structures that they would go onto, and we basically just had to go in and repaint them before we designed and had someone build them. And so we had to create all these different heads for the Chima characters. Yeah. And so there was a lot of work that went into all of this. And they were pushing it. They wanted it to be their own IP that they could license to other other merchandisers, that kids would love this Chima story so much. You could tell they were putting so much into this that too many people got involved. The story was ridiculous. The story was just it seemed like it was designed by committee. Let's see. Next. Yes, that's what I'm getting to next, Ben. You know me so well. Yes, thank you. Remember playing the video game so Ninjago video game, I assume. Did anyone see the oversized Duplo dollhouse build at Brickworld Chicago? I wish I had. I don't get to see everything. Next one nights are epic in a way. Original theme with TV, clothing, video games, and roller coaster tie-ins, Big Bang themes. Thank you. That's exactly what they were going for. And it just didn't catch on the same way Ninjago did. Who knows what the secret sauce has been in Ninjago? But for it to what is this now? 14 years? 13 years. I can do basic math. Yeah. And to keep coming out with new storylines, new seasons, new too bad for them that movie didn't do so well. So if they had approached it better, I think Ninjago would have had a large series of movies. They seem to have pulled back from that for the meantime. But like for me, because I saw it happening from the inside, this was just being overbaked.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, fun. Like they were coming out with new molds. They were coming out with like new colors. Like I was a little bit too. I didn't get a lot of these. I was a little Fabuland offended. The fact that they were making minifigures that were anthropomorphic. But I mean, it's just, you know, they land on a lot of things. Like there came a certain point where like Lego stopped making so many buildings for certain things because they knew vehicles sold better. And that's what like kids wanted, right? That's why we don't have a lot of setting sets for Star Wars, because you don't want to see like the Naboo Palace. Like people want to see like the Gungan submarine.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I transposing letters and only talking about episode 1?
I don't know if they've done anything for the Gungan underwater scene palace. That'd be crazy.
Right. I would love to see that, but I don't think it sells enough. And like they've obviously they do a lot of test marketing. So I know someone somewhere told them that this would be good. Brickworld said Chima had so many factions that they were too shallow. Yeah, and they had characters in the show that weren't Lego minifigures. They were just like 3D animated animals. And there was something about the story where it's like you looked more blocky when you had less chi or something. I don't quote me on that. Yeah. There's some they had like they had a bunch of birds that weren't minifigures. They had like I think the skunks originally weren't something. Again, I'm only picking this up from snippets of that show I had to watch in order to build stuff. Said that gorilla set is hot. Is it now? What about this exactly, sir? Is hot. Where to go? And they had other things going on when they were trying to do what happened?
The banana gun.
The banana gun is hot. They had this like this attack vehicle that looked like a lion, and then this attack vehicle that also looked like a lion. Like it's almost like the two Simbas now, or like the different size things that they're putting out at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I kind of wanted this one. I may even have bought this one actually. I think I do have it. I think this is one of the ones that I bought. Just because I saw a lot of molds that I wanted, a lot of foliage in new colors. A lot of foliage is what I thought of it at the time. Compared to what they're doing now, that's like nothing. And yeah, they certainly tried to make a lot of stuff stick at the wall. With like the spinners and the like. Or these weren't spinners; they were the racers.
I think a faction idea, like I don't know enough, but it seems like there are 12 different things here, and they could have started with 4 or 6.
And they kept coming out with more. And so they had their 3 waves, and they just kept shoving new animal head molds into it.
Wild.
So Brick Orphanage says Ben doesn't like Space Castle, and Ben comes back with Space Castle. Where? I'm in. Will Dreams be Zango in 10 years? I don't know. Dreams seems to me a little bit more procured. I think you meant Gonzo, but whatever.
Yeah, I think they're taking their time with the story arc there, and it's expanding little by little. You have the Nightmare King, and then I think it's at least part 2 or a second season that seems to be the Queen, and who knows where they'll go from there.
They seem to be more appealing to like more people than this seemed hyper focused and broad. Like they were trying to do a little bit too much with one thing, and Dreams seems to be like Dreams is like the new Time Twisters, Time Cruisers.
Yeah.
So Ben does confirm Banana Cannon. Those were called speed oars, not spin oars. Trading cards, yes. Beyblade is this secretly the theme of my childhood. Perhaps. You're just born at the wrong time. Monica Berry says, I want to see the buildings, but they tend to be more pieces and more expensive. Yeah, it feels like they hide some of that. Like it's not a vehicle, so we have to charge more for it to kind of like make back, or at least that's what they were doing at the time then. I don't know what's happening. Matt's cooking and she thought someone was knocking at the door. Yeah, I'm just like, and then they just started doing more and more of this. We're like, look, it's a wolf riding a wolf.
Yeah, that's where they're going wrong.
Look, a scorpion riding a scorpion. And then there was a scorpion that was anthropomorphic, so it only had 4 legs. Or it had only 4 appendages.
I don't have any of those guys.
Oh, yikes. Yeah, just a lot of...
Oh, I got to get the scorpion guy.
A lot of design by committee, And then I did my other one was yes, Nexonites. Because what the hell is this? What is this?
Yeah, this is what I don't know. Space. It's Space Castle. It's lasers and castle and bad guys, obvious bad guys, lava and elemental kind of things going on with their powers.
The lava for me, it was Space Castle with demons.
Right.
What's
happening? Heroes versus demons. Yep.
So they're like, well, we don't have a castle theme right now. We don't have a space theme right now. And like we tried with Exoforce. So let's just mash all those things together.
You know what caught on to like the marketing guy that's like, we'll sell all these shields that have the different print with all the different symbols, and it'll be a collectible series.
Yes. And you can see them doing it with the transparent books and like all the different symbols, all the different colors. And it was a new mold, which I celebrate. Mm-hmm. I love that mold. They use it all over the place now. It's a very versatile piece, right? But what is this? They had like castle vehicles that had mouths that breathed fire. Like they were trying so hard. And they had these like rocking horse things that were they're supposed to fly. They're little spaceships, right?
Yeah, like a speeder bike.
So much. What is this?
Sweet. That's awesome.
I know a lot of great pieces, but like to try to make it another like, well, we couldn't do it with Chima, so Nexonites is next.
Yeah. And they just go all out.
Definitely a more focused.
3 different molds on this one guy.
100%. Definitely more focused. Definitely kind of I would say like a better story. Volcano layer, cool. Lots of Jestro, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But so where is it? Here it is. This is one of my favorite points of like they want to sell a castle, but it has to be a vehicle. It was a castle on treads. This is where I was like looking at it from like the marketing side and working with Lego and understanding like their legal versus marketing sides. I was kind of like, all right, they've really jumped the shark as far as this is all concerned. A gorilla riding a gorilla.
There might have been that movie out around the same time, Mortal Engines, that was huge like city on track.
Which was very steampunk.
Yeah.
And like if they had done the steampunk, I think people would have been all over it. Space plus castle plus Doom. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and I froze. Fuck. Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here.
Oh, okay, cool. Then it's just my interface that froze. All right, next I had awesome Hellspawn figs. Yeah, I know, right? Like, why does this whatever planet they're on is also hell? Like, but they puke trans neon orange all
neon
over
orange and bright blue.
I know. So they're doing like dark blue, good. Trans neon orange, bad. And then this was even a different color, wasn't it? These flags. It was upsetting to me. Qui-Gon Jean says, Dune Guy Slayer minifig is urgently needed. Yeah, I mean they're for sale. And they just went directly into the mech part of it, with like odd spider flower thing happening. And then what is she on? Is this supposed to be like a Satan horse? Like this is I do believe that's a horse skull. Are we gonna get Spaceballs?
Well, we'll
maybe.
See.
And the vampire season never came out.
If it's tied to Lucasfilm, it probably isn't though.
So 2 more things to get into real quick. One would be probably my least favorite theme from this era. Let me see if I can do this. Where's preview slideshow play from start? Okay. It took a lot of things off my screen. What are you seeing right now?
Nexonite and
okay, hold on. Let me escape out of this. Yes, there we go. All right, so let me bring this over here.
There we go. Now
this way.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What's this?
Right? This was the awful thing that they tried to do. That was the Galactic Pirate Laundromat. Remember that?
No.
All right, what do you see now?
Treasure. I see the laundromat.
All right, so their smallest set. Remember this? And they tried to make all the letters look like they were closing clothesline. It was the pirate clothesline for from the pirate laundromat. Like, who are they targeting this for? I mean, I understand like space pirates, but why are they all laundromat employees? And they kept burying the lead.
Is this real?
Of course it is.
Coming out.
Why would you even question that? Like, they had these cool ships that came with this. This was a 3-in-1. They had these cool ships that came with this that built into like an even bigger ship. But they highlighted the clothesline because they wanted kids to be able to play with laundry with these space pirates. And again, trying too hard to please too many people. I mean, this is cute. It wasn't for anybody. They had some cool pieces in this, but kind of a flat roof here. Just different size laundry machines. Then they're, again, they put the focus on the laundromat instead of the ship. That was cooler. And then instead of sails, there was clothes hanging on a line with a weird satellite thing following. Cool new molds, cool new hair molds. But this never went anywhere. Like a really cool harbor here, but like who wants to free dry clothes from a hang line as playtime? And again, they buried the lead with this beautiful ship that came with this set, and then this weird plant here that looked like a person. It might have been some sort of monster. And then the weirdest part of this set is that they did this little cutout on the front of the set to make it look like her arm. These two bald women who did all the washing, obviously, like her arm came off the side of the set. And then of course the Space Harbor laundry, which was probably their last death throes of this theme, trying to make it something that was, tangible for the market. I think they lost a lot of money when they tried to do this line.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I think this was, I threw this in there because I did something else. I thought Ben was going to be on this week. I spent a lot of time making it, and this was kind of this is how I got there. What I have for Ben next week is going to be a lot better. So definitely tune in next week. And so this was kind of just like, we were talking about Gonzo Lego themes already. And I was like, what if I made one up? This is nowhere near as good as Star Wars.
You had me going. No,
I know I could hear it. I was just like, and now you know how it feels. Ben had me going through the entire end of it last week. I was like, it wasn't until the figure of me came up that I realized that he created all of them. I thought maybe he had found some and photoshopped others, but I was just like, oh, you literally did.
Yeah.
All of these blew my mind. So yeah, that's definitely how I felt last week.
It's pretty good. Yeah, like, especially this one. Like, I'm like, what is that clothesline piece?
I know, right?
I guess.
I actually really like this one.
Yeah, the roof is amazing, but it's probably physically not possible.
Oh no, I mean, there's so many. Like, if you look at this closely, there's so many things that are just like smeared,
right?
Like just smudges basically. And this
that's when I was like, what? Those crates are not real pieces either,
right? There's no way to make this. And
then when you got to the wheel on the next one, I was like, yeah, okay, that's not perfect.
Oh my gosh, we've been I'm quite far behind now with comments, but the just the fact, like, when our digital artist comes up with these, just the fact that they would have like some giant pirate ship as part of the set, and it's in the backdrop for a laundromat. The last thing I want to bring up,
2 for 1. You build the ship or build the laundromat.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Same
so
piece.
Yeah, so people kind of figured it out along the way. Let's see. All right, all the way back to here, we got some WTF. So we had a couple people going here. Nexo Knights made mechs. Yeah, it's like Nexo. Like, why even? It was very pirates do laundry. Of course they do. Space pirates, especially when they're doing intergalactic travel, they gotta clean their drawers. AI still can't do text well. There's a couple of them.
I would say that they cornered the market on laundry. It's like, you only have to go to the pirates, like no one else. They won't allow any other business to do laundry.
100%. Exactly. I would say this would be a good story for for Inquisitor Croc for our collaborative for next year, he also has like he's a grifter on the space space laundromat business. It's like that's how he makes his money in the meantime, is he's has his that's his criminal empire. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I agree with this. Like AI still can't do text well, but I asked it to make box art and a logo for Galactic Pirate Laundromat, and it definitely focused on that and didn't necessarily disappoint. Now it came into like pediatric Londiat.
Yeah,
it lost it there for sure. But yeah, no, that was a little bit of fun
stuff. Is a little.
I had
a bike in water, and there's like no skis or anything that's helping it.
The one that says ages 5 to 28. This one says 6 to 19. I know, I love it. So, like, please join me next week because I got one that I'm very proud of. They were targeting me. I need these. Yes. And let's see. All right. So they're talking to each other. Let me see. Yeah, I wish you were too. Also, at the same time, this was pretty weak compared to what you did last week, Ben. So, just kind of like just testing the waters.
I literally have Pirates and Laundromat up on Bricklink and Brickworld.
So I kept forgetting. I did so many of these. I kept forgetting. I'm like, I need to ask it for lifestyle shots. And so I would like, I was going through it in my head, like how to ask it for lifestyle shots, because you have to kind of like really tease it into, and I never came up with it. But I still have the thread going. Don't look at it, Ben, because there's stuff in there that I want to surprise you with next week. Looks like a red fair booth. They almost do look reasonable. I think is feasible. Reasonable. All joking aside, I absolutely love off the wall kind of things like this. Pure ridiculousness. Perfect. Thank you. I did 5 different themes. And that's not what I'm going to surprise Ben with next week. I could probably bring those up towards the end. See if I just show you some of those. This was my favorite though, by far, was Galactic Pirate Laundromat. I came up with one set that was the alien seed farm, and I was like, oh, it doesn't know what it's saying. That's fun. Brickdad Build says when Pirate Space and SpongeBob crossover.
Yeah.
Lego Team B says outdoor out of space laundry. Talk about braving the elements, right? Where is the one where it started? Space Harbor it got pretty well. Where's the
aliens are weird.
I mean, it kept the logo pretty well the entire time. Where is the weird? Yeah, this where I was like, Kokomoic clothesline pirate land in an imagery, like, and just all the again 9 to 28.
Trying to make up its own galactic pirate word.
It can't easily put fonts onto anything.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely seen where I'm just like, take the Lego logo off, and it's like it adds more Lego logo. It's like it's a very confused digital artist.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing I want to bring up on this before I do another song break so I can go use the bathroom is something I read a long time ago in what's it called? I love this picture so much.
Can we get a mashup of Little Forest Friends taking on the Pirate Laundromat guys?
Yes,
they're done doing laundry. They just wear their little aprons. They're like, we're not dealing with those pirates.
that just cling to their chests. And
that's why they're wearing just that.
Yeah, exactly. It's some sort of intergalactic fabric that they have to bring to the Pirate Laundromat because they're the only ones who know how to clean it correctly.
Yeah.
I believe this is the faction that's fighting. These are the Ewoks.
Oh yeah.
To Inquisitor Crocs.
It's Forest Friends versus Pirate Laundromat. Yeah.
It needs to happen. I do believe it will. We need to make this happen, even if it's not this year.
I would get that spider set for sure from the Forest Friends.
Where did this go? Here it is. So I saw this years ago in Brick Journal, and I find it absolutely fascinating. Somehow Joe Mino, who was the editor of Brick Journal, got these from the Lego group from some designer that was like, these were the unreleased sets. I think someone mentioned this one. Oh, all right, hold on. I thought they would at least have like, was the 1920s like speakeasy theme?
Really?
Yeah, where they had like gangster cars and like, there's better images of this out there. I wish I would have realized that they didn't have these in larger format on here. But obviously, we have here a 1920s sort of city theme that never came to fruition. You see like the bank sign that they ended up using in Wild West. You see some of the fedoras and stuff, or cowboy hats that they used eventually in Wild West. Some interesting
bunch of Model T cars, I imagine.
Yep. You can kind of see one right here. Model T car. They've got the just randomly spaced power line poles here.
Yeah.
A pretty cool concept. They see the old Lego trees here.
You twist it like to a history of like the Industrial Revolution era sets or something.
Exactly. Prohibition molds. Let's see. Does the boat float? Best laundromat, a new category for Brickworld 2025. Orange Space Pirate Laundromat. Yes. Tomato soup. Thank you. Indoor. Okay, so we got that one. Does it move or sing? If it doesn't float, does it move or sing? Of course it does not. Let's do that one real quick, actually, because it's a fun one. Where to go? I moved everything around. Ben, I moved stuff around, and now I can't find stuff. Here it is. All right, so the other things we had here is like I don't remember if this was like a Blacktron sketch model or if it was like something that they were going to come out with later. I think it's a Blacktron sketch model. I'm sure it says it up there somewhere. Look at their sleeveless.
Okay, yeah.
That's my favorite part of that. But the castle thing is really cool, where it was like more villagey, more like more realistic. Like, yeah. Like this is a place. It was like pre-medieval market village. They have the colonial troops. They have the rivers with bridges, and like actually probably one of the more realistic ideas. I don't think we saw molds like this, but I don't think we ever saw this exact mold. This seems to be a different angle back here for the roof slopes. We eventually saw these doors. I think these were the I forget what they called that brick, but it was angled and it had studs on the angle. Do you remember those?
No.
They used them in Wolfpack.
Did they?
Yeah. I'll see if I can find out in Bricklink later. And then this was like, I don't even know.
Whoa, yeah.
That's some space stuff.
Yeah, it's almost steampunky with the hoses and whatnot, but there's no brass. So it's like an alien steampunk.
That's the thing, Brickhead Brad. They're all speakeasies. They don't have that sign on the outside of their door. It's a speakeasy. They're hidden. So like you had to build another level underneath where all the basements were. So what fascinated me about this? Oh, Seatron. Oh, this is cool as hell. So they had a monorail. They had a monorail set for Aquazone. Well, I think it was still Futron. So there's Aqualock. So these are the Futron molds, and then they've got like, so this goes underwater. As you see, it changes blue to gray, and then they had like Futron divers. And this is we definitely saw this mold eventually.
Kind of the water marking on the columns there too, probably yellow's underwater.
Yep. They freaked out about monorail at one point and were like, no more. It won't sell anymore ever again. And so they had these like planned and then didn't sell them. And then look at this.
See people.
I don't know if this was Futron or Aquazone. Oh man. Yeah, or if it became Aquazone. Yes. This was Seatron became Aquazone. This says right here. Again, this is Brick Nerd. Okay. Brick Nerd, great publication. I'm just pulling off of them because it was easier than finding the Brick Journal.
Is that a new magazine color or what?
I don't know. I think it might just be a bad picture. But look at this.
Not dark green. It's not.
Look at this alien face hugger pod. Oh, and the little definitely not a hammerhead shark. Oh no, maybe it is. A hammerhead shark in that green, or some sort of sea creature.
See people actually, so
yeah.
Maybe
a couple, aren't these
creatures that are halfway? anamorphic. Guy.
They got like either weird helmets, maybe to help themselves blend in with the sea creatures. But look at how this the way this flex tube was used. That's something that you didn't see back 1995 to 1999.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really have a lot of flex tube, if any at all, if I'm remembering correctly.
We don't talk about colors. That's definitely a new color. I'm sorry. It's like army. It's like army green.
I think you're right, especially looking at the squid hammerhead thing here.
Mm-hmm.
It does look more like a an army green. Yeah, and I mean the sea pod is blowing my mind. Like, please, there's one in all of these sets here. It's just sitting on this crap here. And like, what's inside? Is that where the sea people babies grow? Like, I need to know this stuff. Bottom right reminds me of AT-ATs. Are we looking up here? Or are we looking down here? Probably up here. Does kind of remind me of that as well, if that's what you're talking about. Let's see. We don't talk about colors. That's right. Sorry, I forgot to put this up here. We don't discuss colors here, Jesse. Sorry, I forgot to warn you first. Yeah, it leads to trouble.
It's tough when you see a new theme like that, and
yes,
they're bringing out tomato paste like new green.
Tomato paste, yes, exactly. President Canada says 6044 is the part number for that angled piece of studs. Oh, thank you. I'll look that up in a minute. Actually, let's make sure that we see that now, because there's a certain word for this.
Oh, wow.
You ever see this?
Nope.
Yeah, it was in a number of sets. God, I can't think of the word that we refer, because we have those in the shop.
1x3, and it's 3 tall. Okay, and
a 3 1/3 tall.
3 1/3 tall, because it's that odd shape to make a 1x5 on the side of the roof.
Right?
Wild.
Yes. I mean, just look it up and see like what sets it came in, and look up those instructions. You'll see how it was used. But it was basically like just a way to like use plate as roof instead of using like the roof bricks that they used to use. So lost themes. Let's see. Brickhead Brad says, would people put a Gonzo line where it was just out for a year but was a remake of all these odd sets? Yes. Lego kind of poking fun at itself. That would be amazing. Pirate Roof Slope. Yeah, also, again, Wolfpack. Alternate candidate says, got mine from Royal Knights, yes. Oh, yeah, it was in that as well. It was in one of those.
Yeah, I'm looking at the castle ones, yep.
They had like that side entrance that you couldn't really go into.
Blue. Yep.
3x4
tower. Wow, yeah.
A 3 1/3.
I wonder if we have any of those in the train club because of the castle stuff.
I bought a bunch of them for some reason. I was building some castle where I wanted a bunch of roofs, and I was leaving there to do it. I don't know where they are now.
So it's in Magisha's Magical Workshop, which I have, but I can't remember if it's sealed or unsealed. Sealed and verified.
These are interesting. Explorians and Life on Mars, and that is what I put up as the thumbnail this week, was Life on Mars, because I do think it's Gonzo, and I think we had some comments in the pre-play gang that they want to see Mars Mission or whatever it was called, Life on Mars, something like that, come back. The reason I think that was Gonzo was those arrow tube things.
Oh yeah,
that was a flash in the pan that they didn't use anywhere else, and I know how they came up with those. Paul Smithmeyer, the guy who came up with
that sand purple color. I got one of those.
Exactly. Sand purple and trans neon yellow. Like, that's a pretty good color combination, even though we don't discuss colors here. Paul Smithmeyer came up with Kuso. He's the person who implemented Kuso before Lego Ideas. And he said that they developed that vacuum pump system that made the Mars Arrow tube hanger. And they were just kind of like running around with them, shooting like golf balls, or not golf balls, Nerf balls. Like, what do we do with this? How do we make this work? And then that's how they developed the Life on Mars theme. But this very much would have been cool. This, purple and black color scheme should be interpreted a lot of ways. See bits and pieces of Explorians and Life on Mars. Explorians I had forgotten about. Europa. Here's a better picture of this. See this slope here that they're using for like the retaining wall? And for the roof,
mm-hmm.
I would have liked to have seen that slope. I mean, I think now the way that people build this type of shape on their own This might have become obsolete. You don't see roof tiles used so much anymore. Like these roof slope pieces used so much anymore.
No, it's like a junior's kind of big piece.
Explorians, I want to look that one up next. We need to rebuild these parts instead of surviving the elements for Chicago 2025. Yeah, absolutely, let's do it. Let's do all of it. Look at this. The Loch Ness Monster? What?
I like...
I don't remember seeing this one in the original Brick Journal article.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Look at that.
French and Scottish stuff. Cool.
That's fun. And look, there's hinges here, like Wolfpack type hinges. So like maybe somebody like lives. Oh yeah, and look, there's a wolf mask on this door. Like maybe there was some pre-Forest Men stuff going on here. No idea what year this. Does he have a little kilt on?
I'm sure.
Yeah. Check this out. This is great. Look at these horribly painted trees in the background.
I know. I'm like, that kind of ruins it, but
but it looks not unlike the original Lego trees that came out with the Samsonite sets, where they're like kind of like model train scale.
It's like before lifestyle shots. Like,
yeah, this is
paint the background so it looks like the monster. You know, we can afford our own base plates, but we're just gonna do a blue tile table and paint the background.
Before Photoshop. And if it was that early, like this is like that crap piece, Crummy Rampant Pit Plate, has been around for a while. The burps are in there too. So this had to have been like late 80s, 87, 88-ish.
That's cool. I like it.
Here's a better shot of the... Oh, here, they did have them. Here's a better shot of the 1920s. Here's your Model Ts. Little pickup truck. The old, like the milk delivery truck here. That's fantastic. Yeah. Again, they're all speakeasies. Every one of these basements has a bar in it. I don't know what's going on here at the Ritz.
Club. Yep, the club in the corner that on the far left. Yeah, that's like your jazz club.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Like the Barbers.
The Ritz.
I keep expecting this to be like an AI image.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, they misspelled Barbers. Oh, wait, no, they didn't. This was...
So you have the pole there. Yep.
A little yacht that actually looks like a naval ship for some reason.
Yep, a bit.
Oh, look, there's a brick print on this. I wonder if that's a sticker. See that?
Yeah.
That's crazy. And you can tell like how early in development the scene was, and that the firehouse part of the obviously the engines are going to come in and out here, but the fact that the door frame goes right up to the edge of the wall and there's no like, support beam on the other side.
Prototype. They're like, rush this thing through. Let's get this thing in there.
I mean, this would still be cool.
Oh, definitely.
This okay. Are you ready? All right. The reason I did not bring up Galador is because when I found this article and I was like, here's the pictures I was thinking of. What is happening here?
Cybot. Oh my god.
So just to read the Brick Nerds journalism here. So Cybots is interesting in that there isn't as much information out there about the theme as some of the other lost themes. Christian Faber's blog is the source of this Galador-like line. Faber proposed Cybots as a biomechanical Lego mashup with an underground setting, likely around 1995, which I think is 6 years before. I think Galador was 2001. Check out the brick-built helmet. Look at this, though.
Get the system back into it.
This is some horror movie shit going on.
Looks like Weapon X crossed with Toxic Avenger.
yes. Like, I don't know if this is supposed to be skin or like.
Yeah, I think they're trying to show through the skin that he's cybernetic underneath some muscle.
Is it sinew or is it wires? Like, what on earth is going on here? Let's see. Exploring. Yeah, sorry. Did all these. We don't talk about stickers either. Is there a babyface Nelson fig? Yeah. Cybot looks like a bad McDonald's toy. Yes. You know what else it reminds me of is, do you remember Mad Balls, Jesse?
Yeah.
That face, for some reason, reminds me. Just the entire texture of all the skin. It's too veiny.
Oh, yeah.
It makes me way uncomfortable. I can't believe this is a thing that they... Now, maybe these were like... Maybe someone sat down with Sculpey because they couldn't actually make a mold and like make these pieces. So maybe it really is like clay or something.
Sure.
Like, imagine this.
Hand painted too, for sure, because those eyes are just like making my eyes go crazy.
Horrifying. Maybe they ripped apart other like WWE figs and like painted them or something. Like imagine this, or like melted them together with a lighter. Like we used to do that with Fisher Price figures. With like we'd have a can of hairspray and a lighter, and we'd burn them because I guess I was a sociopath when I was younger. Not now though.
Until you see this, you can think of the idea and sell it though. Like, oh, we'll have all these, collectible legs and arms, that you can mix and match. So you'll have to buy, like this one and that one and make your own guy.
Papa Rex has a great question. Good Lord, what is happening here? That's exactly what is going on. How is this a real thing? Skin tone reminds me of the Fly. Oh, that's it. That exactly. Is that Stanley Kubrick or is that who did that? It's not Kubrick. It's the other guy. But God, that movie was disgusting. I had nightmares from watching the freaking preview because I was like 6 or 7 when it came out. Alternate candidate says Toxic Avenger Lego. All for it. I'm not, dude. Whoever designed Cybots was just crying out for help. How do you say you need in-home care without saying you need in-home care? Nightmare fuel. Agreed, Papa Rex. When He-Man was popular with Garbage Pail Kids. Oh, yes. It also reminds me of Garbage Pail Kids. Yeah, and that does look like a He-Man arm where it's like he's grotesquely muscular. He's wearing Converse.
David Cronenberg.
Yes, thank you. And then he becomes a tank in this one. Why are there? So do you remember the pneumatic lines?
Yeah.
There's pneumatic pistons. Honestly,
that's the part that you could sell this like without seeing the pictures. You're like, oh yeah, and then we'll blend it with all this, Technic pneumatic stuff, and you can build your own or add them to your own little figures with its gross arm.
Ben, if you're still watching, that's our next membership level. After Pareidolia, it's Pneumatic Taint. That's how you move up in the membership area. I mean, because obviously, actually, the more I look at it, like the green arm here very much looks like Sculpey. Looks like something that they made out of clay and like hardened in an oven. And we're like, just trust us. This is a prototype of a prototype.
Yeah.
But then why, if it's Jesus... Okay, here. This is the second time we've brought up Daisy Dukes in this conversation tonight, Jesse. Why is one like Daisy Dukes? The other one is like ripped, but there's like a cybernetic knee ripping.
Yeah, it's Toxic Avenger style.
Yes,
it's like this morphed guy, and it's just ripping out of his clothes. It's wild.
So confused and disturbed. Bethany Wright is here. Hey, Bethany. I'm so glad I was able to finally get you your reimbursement from your workshop. Sorry it took so long. Been a bit of a mess in Chicago again. Where if you would like to do that workshop again, seems like it was very successful. We will make sure you have a check at registration this year before you even get the workshop going. Make sure that we do that right in the future. Just joining for the first time ever. What is happening? I know not only Galador vibes, but as we said, I think we said Mad Balls. We said Garbage Pail Kids. What was the other? Toxic Avenger. That is just... so this is on the Brick Nerd. Again, to give credit to the actual journalist who brought us this.
Yeah.
We're talking about Gonzo Lego things tonight. And this is the Gonzoest I found.
That He-Man too, like Manny arms and stuff, where he had hands and...
The veins. So if this is something that they built out of Sculpey, someone went to the trouble of putting the veins in his bicep that runs down his forearm. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, that's He-Man stuff right there.
Jeez. Brick Orphanage, I'm ready for cybernetic implant, but apprehensive about getting a pneumatic taint. That's the last place you really want air.
Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, it was human today, so maybe I'm wrong about that. The Duke's legs can double as a short sleeve. The Daisy Duke legs can be a short sleeve. I know. It's a very versatile toy here. Alternate candidate says, not actually for this abomination. Just see the Toxic Avenger vibe, yes, which is hilarious to me since Lego. But there was a cartoon and toys based on the very adult movie. Yeah, just think of the He-Man figs. Like, if you watch The Toys That Made Us and you look at the He-Man Masters of the Universe episode, they were making stuff that was just kind of like, oh, it throws up and boys will like that. Yes, awesome, good. Glad we didn't burn a bridge there, Bethany. Qui-Gon Jean says, honestly, it looks like the evolution of a character in MTV Celebrity Deathmatch. It's a Robot Chicken-esque thing. I would love Robot Chicken to get their hands on these original prototypes. Whoa. And like it wouldn't make it to production, but I would like to see what they came up with in the meantime. Brickhead Brad says, to be fair, these sets are why we have good sets today. They tried anything and everything and found out what
Can you
was
imagine the Cybots in Pirate Laundromat theme?
How do we make all this happen? Inquisitor Croc and the Little Forest Friends, they're sworn enemies. I don't know how this tertiarily comes into it. But I mean, Brickhead Brad is absolutely right. I want to keep laughing at it, but it's like, yeah, they try a lot of things. We don't know how these images get out, like their worst ideas. At least this wasn't produced as Galador and Little Forest Friends, for that matter, was, and Nexo Knights. I think that's the end of this article. So that's the end of that topic.
Well,
and if
on top for sure,
I need to find a song to take a quick break before we get. I think, what do I have left? I was gonna guiding future creativity. I guess it's 9:45. We can skip that, and I could do that another day because we have 15 minutes left until it's a 3-hour stream.
Okay.
So we don't actually need to do that. We can end it right now. But if we were going to do the greatest hits, we want to kind of take a look at all the music that Ben and I have created since we started this. So I'm going to start with the song because I know that I can use the potty in the amount of time it takes to play this song. So this is something that Ben wrote for me as an alternate intro to the stream. Take a look. It's a great song because it's all about me.
In a world of bricks, there's a man named Mark, building dreams, igniting that spark. From morning till dark, he's making his mark. At Brickworld you'll find his shining art. He builds animal crossing in the park. He built Buttland, no detail too stark. With each tiny part, he's a creative monarch, building joy and wonder from dawn till dark.
I do have to run to the bathroom again.
Cool. Well, I can talk about this one in the intro.
Hey, it made it an hour and a half. I thought I did about that.
Yeah.
Go better.
An hour into the bathroom he'll park. You'd think he drinks water like a great white shark. His prostate's enlarged and his mood is dark. Peeing freely with Orion's bark.
And apologies to anybody who's joining in for the first time and is just bored to tears. Remember, there are no mistakes, it's just happy accidents.
His basement flooded, blame an oligarch. No building on site, EB will snark. He's the CBO, he's not Caitlin Clark. Panic building all night till he hears the lark. It's 6:57 Central, to the tainted he'll hark. It's 3 minutes to show time, and Mark's check with Denmark. Mark gives the nod, Ben parks his remark. It's finally time for the show to embark.
Awesome. Like I'm he's folding laundry right now. I love that.
That's great.
Let's see what else did Brickdad Build said. How to get out when the new guys try to shred pictures in the fax machine, right? I feel like he did. I think that is him. I think he joined up with our garage band So have you seen all these songs before, Jesse?
Some of this newer stuff I have not, because sometimes I'll tune in and I'll tune out. 3 hours. So it depends on what I have on my plate. I get distracted. But
so we played Blockoverse. We played the intro, of course. We played Ben's new walk-up song. Let's see what else we got. We can do, we only have a couple songs left after that. And then we can end for the evening. And again, thank you for joining me tonight. It made it a lot easier, and it made it it made it a 3-hour stream, which we don't ever aim for 3 hours, but it made it like a regular size stream. We had a great time tonight, of course. Here's the song Ben wrote for himself as an intro.
Server us, his name is Ben. This man is cool, he's always zen. Mark calls him the man to the left. Is he our favorite host? Most deaf. He builds all themes, a crazy mix. Go catch them on his Insta pics. Yet here he stands, a broken mind. Do castles suck, or are they divine?
Everyone kept saying this weird thing to me, that I preferred space to castle. And they kept saying that I was promoting this rumor. I felt very gaslit.
He lets his kids join him on the stream. He ain't much to see, but his wife's a dream. He's Daddy Ben when he puts down the brick, but you can call him Z when he's getting clicks. A man of split minds torn apart, caught between his head and heart. Castle stand in full core E, in his soul spaceship run free.
There is no proof that I have ever said anything negative about Castle in my entire existence. In fact, look at my title. It says Ben Loves Castle.
His walk-up track is almost done. He's about to pull up the show run. Did he build a computer this week? Or will he show us something more sleek? Castle banner, ship engines blow. Rubber, tank, head to the show. Remember to hit subscribe and like. Mark and Ben gonna drop the mic.
All right, so bringing it to a close, what are your conclusions from this week, Jesse?
I don't know.
We got some new sets we can't discuss.
Yeah, sorry.
But exciting stuff coming up, right?
That was good.
You said August 4th is going to be the day that you can actually talk about those?
Yeah, we can talk about them later. And, so I'd rant about that, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, we didn't do rants this week. Yeah, I had a rant that I put together, but it's a rant that has to happen when Ben's here, so I don't have another rant I could do. So we can go ahead and skip that one, unless you really want to rant.
I think it would be appropriate to
go for it.
To have my 1 minute of every once in a while, maybe.
Hell yes, let's give it to you then. I'll go ahead and start the music. I will start myself a timer. Ben pulls it up online somehow.
Oh yeah,
I just kind of
phone timer.
Duh. So give me 1 second. Timer was set for an hour.
An hour rant. Here we go.
I'm trying to quit vaping, so I try to let myself only do that once an hour. So music and go.
So I watched the show, Brickworld's Thinking Outside the Blocks, and I can't talk about colors. What's the deal with that? I want to talk about colors. Colors should be on the table all the time. You can talk about your castles. You can talk about your space. You can't talk about bricks without talking about color. I've built this cool dragon. Yeah, it's got cool techniques, but look at the cool colors. I want to talk about bright orange and yellowish orange and maybe new army greens that don't exist. And on a Brickworld channel, come on, guys, look at the logo. It's stacked plates of colors. We should be able to talk about colors, and I got to stand firm with that.
All right, time's up. We'll take that into consideration. Let's say Could I rant? Could I come up with something? Yeah, actually I can. Got it. All right, I will cue myself up here. All right, everybody, my turn. So, came out here this week without my normal co-host, and I've been home since Wednesday, so I was like, I'm gonna build a lot. I want to have something to show this week. And nope, I really didn't. I got some math figured out, and I built a staircase, and I basically chopped the MOC in half and had less to show technically than normal. So why do I put myself weekly on a show with someone like Ben Z. Cerberus Auger, who can build 5 or 10 complete castles a week? Is this man human, or is he a little robot from the Duplo line that can just magically build all these amazing MOCs every week? It's disgusting. I agree with his daughter. He's disgusting. Stop being amazing. It makes us all look bad. Take that, Z. Cerberus Ben Auger. Oops, song's still going. Yeah, all right. Now we got all that off our chests. Feels like a full week here.
Yep. Going to a fresh week now.
I really thought you were going to rant about Lego leakers.
Yeah.
Does it amaze you at all, like how quickly we get news nowadays, or like how many sets Lego is producing?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's amazing how many sets there are, and the wave of things, how they're released, and the leaks are all very modern. It's amazing when you don't see leaks.
I know, and so many people are like, I don't know if this is real, but 99% of them are real, which is amazing. I remember getting a catalog. I've said this 1,000 times on the stream. Getting a catalog when I was like, I don't know, 9 or 10, and they had like 35 new sets this year, and it was because it was January. Those are all the sets they came out with, and
I'll get those.
And there was typically only one theme got new sets that year. So like City would have the same sets for 3 years, and like Castle would be new this year, and then Space would be new the next year. And like just the amount of sets they produce, and like just how prolific everything is, and like the kind of the bonkers stuff that they come up with, like Lavatrass. Bethany Wright says she's here for the color discussion. We are too. We definitely discuss color a lot. It's just when we're looking at new product images. This is what happened. Ben and I were talking about new product images, and I refused to believe that a certain piece was a transparent color. And so the we bet Maple Polybags that it was opaque, and it wasn't. It was opalescent, which is kind of in between. But I was like, no, it's definitely not transparent. You guys are reading way too far in this. I bet him and Nicole. So I lost two Maple Polybags. Get you two.
Another blurred line there where it's like, you know what? It's something, and we have a weird image.
Yeah.
But,
well, even in the newer images, like you can't necessarily really tell, especially with the lifestyle shots where like all the shading is different. Like we didn't get in a lot of lifestyle shots this week because we didn't have new ones to make fun of. Okay, so I got a new message in Discord. Not sure you're a rant legend, according to Ben. This is your second 2 for 2 here. What's the Discord link for Brickworld? Oh shoot, I should have that in here. My rant sucked. Apparently, you win. I didn't know it was a competition, but apparently it is. Let me see real fast before we end tonight if I can find this Discord link. And I'll drop it in the chat because, yes, please join us on Discord. We have over 600 members at this point, but we're definitely looking for more. And if you guys have friends in the Lego community who are interested in Lego, please encourage them to watch the stream here or there, or maybe even subscribe. Because as I've begged 1,000 times, we are trying to bump over just a simple 1,000 subscribers. We're so close. We're so very close. But yeah, also just again, as Jesse said earlier, thank you for spending your time with us. Did I not say Mara? Mara, Jesse, 4 other people. Whatever. I don't know what any of this is about anymore. Opalescent, the transparent color that lies. Thank you, Bethany. I feel vindicated right now. 4 more minutes. It's another 3-hour stream. Jesse was a good sidekick. Jesse's always a good sidekick. So yeah, just to yes, thank you guys as well. I can't believe the time flew this fast either. Jesse, thank you for joining me this week. I don't think it was a mistake. I think it was a happy accident because, as Bob Ross tells us, there are no mistakes. There's only happy accidents. Have a great week, you guys. We will see you next week. And we just have one song that our garage band has written for us that we haven't played yet. And it is probably my favorite.
Larry's castle stood so tall, we all sat in awe. Think outside the blocks gave a round of applause. Proud and inspired, Larry showed the grand hall. Physics took over, we all watched the grand fall. Bricks fail, crashing dreams to the ground. In that moment, silence was the only except for Mark screaming, no, 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 no. Troy was grabbing a beer, hey, what happened, bro?
I pulled a moto.
No, you didn't.
I did. Under the castle. So dragons live here, right?
Oh my god, yes.
Level 1 dungeons. We got kitchens. This is a double high. This is the grand hall.
No, 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 no.
Like the grand hall.
I believe everything happens for a reason, and maybe this reason is for you to rebuild it better, bigger and better.
Shut up, Troy. My castle just fell. There's only 6 weeks to go. I'm in a full hell.